Yo, what up, man? What's good? Welcome. If you're watching this on a restream, I hope you enjoy it. We're going. I got something good for you. I got something good. I went and did a deep dive into this today, so we're gonna see what's up. So what I did was I found a comparable case to what happened with Metcalf and Anthony. All right. So the per in that comparable case, the decision actually was in favor of the defense, the guy that stabbed somebody and was about to go to jail for murder or manslaughter or whatever. It happened to be a friend. I believe this actually happened 2025, February 2025. So it's not even that far away. So I'm gonna light my cigar. We're gonna go enjoy this, okay? See, I'm gonna do the dual screen right here. All right, I got it lined up. Let's do the dual screen here. Let's see what's up. First, we're gonna recap Metcalf, right? See what they know. I got some audio. It's going to be a good string.
Between two 17-year-old boys who went to different. On April 2nd, 2025, in Frisco, Texas, at a track meet, an incident happened between two 17-year-old boys who went to different high schools. Both boys were spectators at the track event, and one of the boys who is now charged with murder is named Karmelo Anthony. He's accused of entering and staying in a tented area that was designated for another school. A student in that tented area named Austin Metcalf approached Karmelo, asked him to leave the area, and an incident occurred between the two where they disagreed about, whether or not Karmelo could be in that tented area. So witnesses say that Austin put his hands on Karmelo. Witnesses say that Karmelo reached into a backpack that he had with him, and around that time, kind of stories are a little bit different at this point, but around that time, Karmelo told Austin something along the lines of, "Put your hands on me and see what happens," or "Punch me and see what happens," something along those lines. Some witnesses say that Austin did, in fact, put his hands on Karmelo. Karmelo responds by pulling out a knife and stabbing Austin in the chest. Sadly, Austin's brother Hunter tried to save Austin by pressing on his wound and trying to stop the bleeding, but Austin died pretty quickly there in the stands. Hunter wasn't able to save him. Police were quickly able to find and apprehend Karmelo. Witnesses say that he either dropped or threw the knife in the stadium area, so police were able to find that too. It was raining that day, so there's some question about, whether the knife is going to still have valuable evidence on it, but police will, I'm sure, be testing that to find, and will have answers to those kinds of questions. Witnesses were able to point police in the direction of Karmelo. They were able to apprehend him quickly. When they did, Karmelo Anthony made a number of statements. He said things like, "He put his hands on me," meaning Austin. It sounds like Karmelo probably heard a police radio talking back and forth and heard them say, "I got him, I got the alleged suspect." Karmelo responds by saying, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Prosecutors are likely going to be able to use these statements against Karmelo when a person is in custody and questioned by a police officer. They do have to be read their rights that we commonly call Miranda rights, or their warnings against self-incrimination. When a person's in custody but they start talking and it's not in response to any questions from law enforcement, it's just things that they're saying on their own or voluntary statements that they're making, police don't have to read them their Miranda warnings at that time. They don't have to tell them their rights against self-incrimination. Anything that a person says under those circumstances that they just kind of blurt out, those statements are generally admissible to be used against a person even without warnings. Karmelo, being 17 years old, he's in the jail in Collin County, Texas. He's being held on a $1 million bail. His attorneys have filed a motion to reduce his bail, citing $1 million as excessive and more than he can pay at this point. At this point, Karmelo Anthony is charged with murder, intentionally or knowingly causing the death of another, and they'll say that's by stabbing Austin Metcalf. In Texas, the punishment for murder can be anywhere between 5 years and 99 years or life in prison, and up to a $10,000 fine. It's a first-degree felony in Texas. It seems pretty clear at this point, even though we're still in the early days, that Defense is going to be a main issue. It sounds like that's going to be one of the defenses that Karmelo Anthony claims throughout his case or trial. In Texas, self-defense is a recognized defense, and there is kind of what we call standard self-defense or basic self-defense, where a person has a right to defend themselves against another person when that person is threatening them or makes the person feel in danger or initiates a fight.
That is very important. What she said right there, that is something that you do not need to let go over your head. Okay?
Or initiate to defend themselves against another person. And so it's a recognized defense, and there is kind of what we call standard self-defense or basic self-defense, where a person has a right to defend themselves against another person.
That's standard or basic self-defense. Basic shit.
And that person is threatening them or makes the person feel in danger or
threatening or makes them feel in danger. So this sounds like, according to that statute, they're going to have to be able to prove that he felt threatened or in danger,
or initiates a fight or initiates some sort of unwanted physical contact harm.
Oh shit! Say that again, girl.
Person is threatening them or makes the person feel in danger or initiates a fight or initiates some sort of unwanted physical contact harms the person.
Unwanted physical contact. Bruh.
Person who's defending themselves can respond in kind. The law says that words are not enough to justify self-defense, so one person using words to escalate a situation, the actor can't then respond with physical force and claim self-defense because words alone are not enough. If one person puts hands on another, punches, grabs, shoves, the person can respond with sort of equal force. They can't escalate, but they can respond.
That's it. Oh, fuck. That's it, Shorty Wop. That's it.
If one person puts hands on another, punches, grabs, shoves, the person can respond with sort of equal force. They can't escalate, but they can respond with equal force and then could have the right to claim self-defense.
So, equal force. There wasn't a weapon involved, but if there are too many assailants, too many combatants against you, I would believe you can up the ante from hands to a weapon, right? Let's see.
Texas also recognizes a version of self-defense for deadly force, but deadly force has to be used sort of to prevent deadly force from another. Sort of like how...
There you go. There you go. So that right there, what we just heard, there you go, bro. Deadly force has to be equal to stop deadly force. I was in I'm a retired correction officer, and they told us we could use deadly force in situations, but it had to be dire situations like multiple inmates, multiple assailants. They use size in there. They use size, like if the guy is like 6'3" and and it's like a 5'3" female, she would actually be authorized and indemnified for using such force. Like say she used what do you call it? The keys. They got a lot of keys, or a fire extinguisher hitting their head, or a pen stabbing in the eye, something like that. She technically should be covered, right? So that's that.
Words are not enough provocation to justify self-defense. Force or bodily injury or laying hands on another without a weapon is not enough enough to justify a reaction of deadly force and still claim self-defense. So a person can't respond using deadly force or using a weapon to counteract a physical fight that would otherwise just be a basic assault. Now, that's not to say the only situation in which deadly force can be used in a self-defense claim has to be where there
There we go. Pop up.
counteract a physical fight that would otherwise just be a basic assault. Now, that's to a person can't respond using deadly force or using a weapon to counteract a physical fight that would otherwise just be a basic assault. Now, that's not to say the only situation in which deadly force can be used in a self-defense claim has to be where there is a weapon. There doesn't have to be a weapon for a person to claim self-defense using deadly force, but the assault, the danger on them has to be so significant and so serious and so imminent that they truly feel like deadly force is the only appropriate reaction in order to save themselves. It has to be a fight or an assault so severe that they feel like the only way to defend themselves is to use deadly force. So when we think about what happens next and where this case is going to go, this is going to be a long drawn out process, but there are a lot of steps along the way. One step that we can anticipate coming probably pretty quickly is that Karmelo Anthony's attorneys will probably try to speak to the judge and the prosecutors about getting his bond lowered. $1 million is a high bond. Sometimes it's appropriate, sometimes it's not. When we talk about bond is not meant to be punitive. Bond is not meant to be a punishment for someone. The idea of bond is to make sure that someone has so much invested in a case that they do return for court. Now, when we're talking about a 17-year-old who is currently in jail, probably doesn't have a lot of assets, probably doesn't have a lot of resources of his own. So to think that Karmelo Anthony of his own accord can come up with $1 million to make bonds, probably not very likely. And that's probably why his attorneys are requesting a lower bond. Of course, we know that family members will help, or family members often chip in or try to contribute to a bond for another loved one. But bond really is meant to be for the defendant themselves to be able to make without really considering contributions from family. So I'm sure that's what the attorneys are thinking when they're asking for that lower bond. So our understanding at this time is that Karmelo Anthony's family has been raising money to contribute to his defense. If Karmelo is able to bond out, it's very likely that the court would put a number of bond conditions on him. Bond conditions can be anything that the judge deems reasonable to make sure that the community is safe while the defendant is on bond, and again, to ensure that the defendant returns to court. So common bond conditions include things like a GPS electronic monitor, drug testing, potentially people are not able to leave the county or the state or the area or things like that, regular check-ins. Given his young age, it could even be a curfew or requiring him to attend school regularly, not miss any classes. Could even include things like mental health evaluations or counseling or different things like that. The next step in the process will be that the prosecutors will prepare the case to present to a grand jury. In Texas, a grand jury is the first step of any criminal felony case. The grand jury kind of gives.
So she basically gave what we were looking for right there. All right. So I'm gonna take it up a notch, right? So she actually did a great job and told us what we needed to hear. So yeah, jail time. It based off of, if we go just by the book, there's no black, there's no white, there's no no type of bias. By the book, he was not justified to use deadly force. All right. So what needs to be done now? I would say they would need to find things that could be used as leverage, right? What really happened? Witnesses are extremely important in this case, because the witnesses could potentially shape a scenario where he had no choice but to use deadly force. And that would be luck, because according to you guys, I went all out doing my research on this here, because according to Texas penal law, deadly force, section 9-32, right here. All right, deadly force in defense of a person. All right, a person is justified in using deadly force against another, and then they list, 1, 2, whatever, A, B, right? So they say would be justified, right? The actor would be justified in using force against the other. And when in section 931, so everything that's stated in section 931, he'd be justified. And when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes deadly force is immediately necessary. So here's something that his good lawyer is going to have to argue. Say he was getting jumped. Hypothetically speaking, say he was getting jumped. Say that was definitely the situation. They're going to have to make it seem that he was that the actions that they could perform in that moment would actually cause his death. Can you die by getting jumped? Yeah, people die by getting jumped, of course. Could you die by two people jumping you? Are you in that type of area where something like that could really happen? There's security, there's other students. So that right there might be hard. The only thing that they have is that this boy is 130 pounds, and these guys train a lot different than him, and they're a lot bigger, right? Metcalf reportedly 230 pounds. His brother between 230. So that's a lot of weight. You know, they play football. You know, they work out. You know, so. But is that really enough to take a life? Yes. Yeah. If you're 130 pounds, right, and a guy with an extra 100 pounds on him and his brother start to assault you, how many punches or kicks to the head you think you could take before you get knocked out? I've seen guys. There's one guy had blood on the brain, a collapsed lung, and a broken nose by an inmate. So when you talk about people that work out and that are significantly larger and stronger than you, yeah. So with that being said, that is a possibility. Depends on how good the lawyer is that he has, because you know the prosecutor could shoot that down. All right, so you have to reasonably believe that deadly force is immediately necessary, right? To prevent others' imminent commission and kidnapping, blah 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 blah. No, all right, no. The actor's belief under subsection A2, deadly force was immediately necessary to do, as described in the subdivision, is presumed to be reasonable if the actor knew or had reason to believe the person against whom deadly force was used unlawfully and with force entered. Okay, I guess that's breaking in place. Unlawfully with force removed. No, was committing or commit. Here we go. Letter C, was committing or attempting to commit an offense described by subsection A2B. So what is subsection A2B? Well, I'll look that up. Give me 1 second. That is assault, right? So we have to look up the assault. So that's what they say about assault, right? Texas Penal Code 22.01, assault, right? A person commits an offense if the person intentionally, knowingly, recklessly caused bodily injury to another person or a spouse, blah, blah, blah. Intentionally or knowingly threatens another with imminent bodily injury. He didn't threaten him, though. He just told him that he needs to get out of there. All right. Intentionally, knowingly causes physical contact with another when the person knows or should reasonably believe that the other will regard the contact as offensive or provocative. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there. Because he said, "Touch me and see what happens." Right, and it says intentionally or knowingly causes physical contact. Right, with another person when the person knows or should reasonably believe that the other will regard contact as offensive or provocative. So when Metcalf touched Anthony, did he know or reasonably believe that, that Anthony would regard it as offensive or provocative? Yeah, he knew that. So now we just connected a piece, right? And that piece is the assault was there. So the assault was there, and it said you could use deadly force if the person was committing or attempt to commit an offense described by subsection A to B. Right? Let me double check this here because I really can't see. I don't believe that. I'm looking at it, but I don't believe that. Why don't I believe that? Section A to B. Okay, section A to B. All right, yeah. So I don't believe that. I'm going to go with this. They said attempting an offense in section A to B, right? So this is what I'm going to go with. Up here, section 932. Section 932. This is A, and then we come down to 2. They said A to B, right? Now, what is A to B? A to B is to prevent the other's imminent commission of aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery. So I would say that that's what they mean. You could use deadly force to prevent imminent aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated robbery. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll go with that. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. You can also use deadly force if the person did not provoke the person against whom the force was used and was not otherwise engaged in criminal act. Okay, yeah, there was none of that. So he did 932 deadly force. So let's go to this page here, right? Let's go to this page here. Come on. Like you're taking so damn long for. Texas Penal Code 932, deadly force in defense of a person. Right? A person is justified to use deadly force against another if the actor would be justified in using against another under Section 931 when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes deadly force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against others' use or attempted use of unlawful deadly force. All right. So he basically has to be able to prove that they were going to really cause him serious bodily harm, bro. To prevent the other imminent commission, aggravated kidnapping, blah, blah, blah. That's what they read. All right. The actor's belief under subsection A2 that deadly force was immediately necessary, as described by subdivision presumed reasonable if the actor knew or had reason to believe that the person against whom deadly force was used, if unlawful and with force entered, it was attempting to enter unlawfully with force the actor's occupied habitation. They were in a tent, so that doesn't count. Vehicle or place of business, none of those. That was a tent, none of that counts. What about B? Unlawfully and with force removed, or was attempting to remove unlawfully and with force the actor from the actor's habitation. All right, so if they were trying to kick him out of his habitat, vehicle, or place of business, no. Was committing or attempting to commit an offense described by Section A2B. And we looked at A2B, and that's the one with kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated robbery. Metcalf wasn't described as doing any of those, okay? Did not provoke the person against whom force was used and was not otherwise engaged in criminal. Okay, there was no criminal activity, no Class C misdemeanor, no regulating traffic. Okay. A person who has a right to be present at the location where the deadly force is used, who has not provoked the person against whom deadly force is used, and who is not engaged in criminal activity at the time deadly force is used, is not required to retreat before using deadly force. So this is the stand your ground part, right? A person who has a right to be present at wherever they at, wherever that force was used, they had a right to be there. And who has not provoked the person against whom they use force on. Now, would you call what he said provocation? This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. It's a thin line between provoking somebody and warning somebody, I guess. What do you think? Might be. Might be. So, damn. I don't know about that one, but I know he did he have a right to be there? Well, there was no signage or laws or school guidelines saying that you can't be at another person's tent, right? It was raining, so on and so forth. So there was nothing saying that he could not be there. All right, so you can't say he was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be because he is. He was there to run track. He was in his uniform. They said he was supposed to be in school, but maybe he was on the school schedule, the class schedule, but maybe he was excused. If he was on track, they're not gonna put that in your so let's see. All right, so we don't know if they're gonna call that provocation. Touch me and see what happens. Okay, all right. And who is not engaged in criminal activity? He wasn't engaged in criminal activity, so he was not required to retreat. All right, because he kind of had a right to be there. All right. So with the intent, right? I don't think there was intent for him to kill this individual. I think he was just trying to be left alone. But we have a witness here, a witness audio, right? Let's see. Tell me what you think about this. Do you think this is legit? What do you think about this?
And they got rained out like crazy bad. It was rain, they got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet at.
So he said everybody was scrambling, trying to get places here, there. This is good shit right here. Okay. So he's painting a picture of it raining so hard that everybody is just going basically wherever they can go just to not get drenched. Okay.
Get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet at. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me?
Okay. Whoa. Now this is a story. This is a picture being painted. Right? Metcalf comes in later. And Anthony's just sitting there on his phone trying to dry off. Shit.
One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and what they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's
so this gentleman says he has two daughters that went to the track meet. They were under the tent, so he went under there with them to get dry. They saw a lot of people just trying to get out of the rain, and he noticed Metcalf and his twin brother came in. They walked up to this kid who was just sitting there on his phone, and maybe something verbal exchange was made. He probably couldn't hear it. Right? And then he says that Metcalf grabbed him. They started, they started grabbing on him. And they tried to punch him and shit. He went in his bag. He didn't say anything about the kid saying, touch me and see what happens. Maybe that was before they started grabbing on him and trying to punch him. I don't know. So I'm gonna run it back. Let's see.
That's what happened. Trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and what they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Boom, headshot! Boom, headshot! Boom, headshot!
All right, so that the only thing that signifies really is that they a charge of illegal possession or whatever at a place or something that would get thrown out. That's the only thing that really signifies. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay, so we got the gist of He was stabbed, right? Doesn't seem like it was intentional to kill him. So we got the gist of that. So what happens if it drops from murder down to manslaughter? Well, according to Texas law, manslaughter, Section 19.04 states that a person commits manslaughter if he recklessly causes the death of an individual. In order to be considered reckless, a person must be aware of the risk surrounding their conduct or the results that could occur, but consciously disregard that awareness. Okay, that's the definition of reckless. Reckless. All right. The crime does not require an element of premeditation, intent, or knowledge. It requires only that a person was reckless. All right. Reckless. See, how much time is that? Manslaughter, prison sentence anywhere between 2 and 20 years. Jesus H. Christ. Aboriginal knowledge. Peace, peace, peace. Looks like you checked in too late, sucker ass nigga. You don't even know. Niggas, boy. Yo, man. Did you see the thumbnail? Did you see the thumbnail? Did you see the thumbnail? We leaving race out of it. Stupid. Dumbass nigga. Dumbass nigga. Man, should have been you. Stupid ass nigga. So, manslaughter penalty carries between 2 and 20 years. So, what they would have to do is try their way to prove that he had to do it. So what I did for you was I actually pulled up a similar case, right? And in this similar case, there was an individual. What is this shit? Come on, man. Get out of here with this shit. The fuck? So what happens is in this similar case, you got a guy who stabbed to death his friend, right? With a knife. So in this case, this is what we found out. All right. So this guy stabbed his friend, South Fort Worth, Texas. Right now, both of these cases are in Texas, both stand your ground laws. All right. So here it says a man was stabbed to death earlier Tuesday during an altercation in Fort Worth neighborhood. Right. So they go down here. A man died after being stabbed with a pocket knife during a fight. Okay. So we go here. One man was arrested for the fatal stabbing. They identified him as suspect, 41-year-old Ramos Escamilla, who faces a murder charge in the case. Okay, so he stabbed his friend who was faced with a murder charge. All right, Ramos was booked in the Fort Worth jail just after 5:30. All right. 4,500 stab wound in the area. Suspect was taken into custody. They learned that the suspect, the victim, and several other witnesses had become involved in a verbal and physical altercation. All right. Metcalf and Anthony were in a verbal, then physical altercation. Police did not release any information on a motive for the fight, right? All right. They're saying that during the altercation, the suspect pulled out a pocket knife, stabbed the victim at least once. Now, Same thing with the guy, Anthony, right? During the altercation, Anthony pulled out a knife, stabbed the victim at least one time. All right, the man was taken to the hospital where he later died. Metcalf died on site, right? All right, so there actually happens to be a woman who works in a law firm that they took this case, right? A couple of ladies who took this case. And look at this murder case, Fort Worth. Man found not guilty in friend's death. Nice. All right. So the guy was found not guilty, man. And he was found not guilty on February 3rd, 2025. So that's not too far from now. All right. This is the guy here in the inset. Okay. I'm sure he's happy. Let me see if I got his pic here. This is the individual. That's him. All right. So he was going up for the same shit that Anthony's going up for. Same type of situation. Right? And he pulled his knife out and stabbed the guy. So it's that, like, when you see things like, that already happened, basic same scenario, and now you're like, damn, it could go either way. It could go either way, right? This here is the actual, whatchamacallit, right? So he says, let me see here. They're talking about how it was raining, blah, blah, blah. Chest unconscious, not breathing heavily, tried to get advanced. There were coaches. Hunter, brother victim. He stated they were, okay, so here, this individual here states, I asked him what happened, and he stated they were all sitting on the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent when another male who he did not know walked over and sat under the tent. Blank, this is one of the witnesses, Blank then said Austin, the victim, told this male that since he did not go to the memorial, he had to leave the tent. Now, in that witness's video, he actually said, that he was already sitting there before Metcalf even came in. So, it is what it is with that. Okay, I don't know. All right, there's no cameras, there's cell phones. The cell phone was taken. We'll see what happens. All right, so he sat under the tent. Austin told the victim, told this male that since he did not go to the memorial, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed the male. Oh, shit. There we go. This person says Austin stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. Blank had said during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around his bag. And it was at this time the male took out a knife and stabbed Austin and then left the scene. Okay. So, they got 30 witnesses. We got this guy. I don't know if this guy made a statement in writing, but he made a statement on All right. So we have a similar case, and in this case, the defendant got off. Let's hear what happened in this case. Okay.
Beginning to think about whether or not they were going to close. And so this group of friends got together at our client's house. They'd gotten together on countless occasions the year before. They were very close. If there was a weekend, you'd find them together. They all got together, and the deceased and his girlfriend were in a little bit of an argument that night. The deceased girlfriend and our client also, though, loved to dance together. And they'd done so on countless other occasions. So they were all sitting in the kitchen and they'd been there several hours. They turned on the music
So somebody danced with somebody's wife.
and they were going to dance like they normally do. And for some reason, the deceased broke up the dance midway, shoved his girlfriend and said, "We're going to go," grabbed her by the arm, and everybody's watching this, not understanding what's happening. And everybody had been drinking, but the deceased especially had had quite a bit to drink. And I think his blood alcohol level was over a 0.2, which is 2.5 times the level that you're legally intoxicated in Texas. But everybody had been drinking, but they couldn't understand why all of a sudden that night this just enraged him. And so he grabbed his girlfriend by the arm, and everybody was like, "Wait a second, she doesn't have to go with you," because they were really worried if he would do that in public, what was he willing to do in private? No one wanted her to leave with him. And so in the course of trying to protect her, the deceased pushed not only his girlfriend, pushed her friend, and then pushed our client's wife out in the front yard. And there was a lot more to it. But in the end, in the moments before his death, our client had his wife in front of him. She was saying, let's just let them go. And they were letting him go. They were saying, "That's fine, go ahead and leave." And then the deceased rushed them. And in so doing, my client protected his wife, shoved his wife out of the way, and pulled his knife. And it was one.
Whoa. Whoa. So I pulled this up because it's similar, just without the wife. But it says that the dude was lunging at him, and he pushed his wife out the way and stabbed him. In the Metcalf situation, he put his hands on him, and then he grabbed his bag like he was about to take him somewhere. And the brother said the brother on the video said that they were trying to jump him. So it's very similar. It's an altercation. Nobody got pounded out, but it looked like it could have went there, and he stabbed him. Now this guy, in the same state of Texas, you let this guy go, right? And it was just one dude. Yeah, there was two dudes. I don't know. If you can't do for one what you do for the other. Okay, so that's why I pulled this up. I don't even know what law firm is this? Varghese Summer. She got him off, man.
And stab wound, and it was the end of his life. The knife that my client had was just a regular pocket knife that he clipped on his pocket. It was a knife everybody'd seen him with. That was the only knife he had. It was really like a work knife, a practical knife, and it was one of those knives where you hit a button and the blade pops out.
So he had it. Oh, excuse me. What is that? It's a gravity knife? I think that's what they call it. I guess they could carry that. I know in New York that shit is not legal. Yeah, you push a button and it just flips out. Yep. It's a gravity knife.
Out. And they were very good friends. This was the last thing that my client ever wanted to happen. Now, by way of a little bit of background, what the state did not know, because their witnesses hadn't told them,
Got 30 witnesses they ain't really talking to. What's up?
is that the deceased and his girlfriend, when they were together at night, my client and his wife lived together with them. There were many occasions where they could hear arguments and what sounded to be assaults in the other room. They thought they could hear basically her hitting the wall and her saying, "That hurts me," or "That's hurting me." And she would then text my client's wife to say, "Will you please take me home?" Because she actually had a house at a different location. And then when my client's wife would go to the room to try to take her home, the deceased would not let her leave. And so that happened I don't know, more than 5 times when they all lived together.
That shit crazy. She keep calling this guy the deceased, the deceased. That shit crazy.
And then happened a couple of times leading up to the events of January the 31st. The other thing that the state didn't know is that at a Christmas party in December, that the deceased had actually pushed my client's wife when he got mad at her. And my client had gone up to the deceased and said, "Don't ever put your hands on my wife again." And so there was also that. And then 48 hours before this.
So there's tension. They got history. These two kids don't have any history. They said they didn't even know them. They don't know each other. So they don't have any history. This guy got off and he had history with like a little, tension with this guy because he pushed his wife and talking crazy and shit. So that motherfucker got off. Yo, man, he got off, man.
This happened, the deceased was at a quinceañera of all things, 100 people there. Good time had by everyone. And somehow a phone gets stolen, a cell phone. Not my client's cell phone, not the deceased cell phone, but the deceased was so upset and offended by this, he went out to his car and armed himself with a machete with an 18-inch blade and put it down the back of his pants. And apparently he always had a machete with him, either on him or in the back of his car. He always had a steak knife in the driver's door of his car. And so we knew that to know the deceased was to know there was a blade nearby. And the crime scene officers that processed the scene that night, and it's really interesting, the officer that testified, I've known and worked with when I was a prosecutor, and I kind of called him the Yoda of crime scene because he was the all-knowing one and he taught all the younger crime scene officers. And he said, I took 691 pictures at the scene that night. And we asked him, what do you look for? And he's a state's witness, mind you. And he said, I look for the things that don't fit the narrative, which is really how you get to the truth of what happened. Because the fact that somebody died doesn't answer how they died or the circumstances that lead up to it, or whether it's self-defense, whether it's justified under Texas law. We have 691 pictures, and we're going through all of this body cam in preparation for trial. And this was several weeks before we actually started the trial. I'm walking off, and this is an obscure little piece of body cam. We hear an officer, great officer, very conscientious, very thorough officer say, and he's got a flashlight and he's looking on the ground and he goes, where are those keys? You know, the ones that had the knife on it. And we both stop. Kara and I both stop and we look at each other and we go, did he just say knife? Because that's not our client's knife. That's the deceased's knife. And it's not mentioned anywhere in the report. And so this officer, this very conscientious officer, former Marine, locates the keys. And he gives them to another officer. That officer threw it in the back of his patrol car. Did not collect it, seal it like evidence, but threw it in the back of his patrol car. Forgot about it. Didn't tell the homicide detective, didn't tell crime scene, forgot about it for a couple of days, logged it into evidence. But no one knew. And the family of the deceased came to pick up the keys a few days later. And so it was kind of like, and this is what I told the jury, like that picture in Raiders of the Lost Ark where you have all of the crates and it's long forgotten. So you have 691 pictures of everything except the thing that doesn't fit the narrative. So when the state is presenting their case, I don't think they realize that the deceased was armed with a pocket knife, or with a knife. It's not just a pocket knife. It was somewhat of a menacing looking pocket knife. And so when we took a still from that video and we showed that to the jury, you don't normally see a lot of reaction from.
So the damn cop, God damn, he could have really went to jail behind that shit. He fucked it up, man.
Jurors, but you could see a very visible jaw drop, so to speak, from a number of the jurors. Well, what I said in closing argument, because the state said a couple of things in opening statement that I thought they don't have the whole picture. And we talked about this case and what the state was presenting as the Instagram version of the case. And we're going to take off the filters and we're going to show you the whole picture. And I don't blame the state. I don't think the state knew. I don't think their witnesses told them the whole picture. They certainly didn't know he was abusive to his girlfriend. They didn't know that he had pushed our client's wife before and that our client had said, don't put your hands on my wife again. They didn't know that 48 hours before this, the deceased had armed himself with a machete over a stolen cell phone at a quinceañera. They didn't know all of that. It's a very obscure part of body cam footage, and I will tell you.
All right, so they were able to paint this guy as a dangerous guy. They were able to paint this guy as a dangerous guy. He abuses women, and he fucking walks around with a machete and he's kind of like a loose cannon. And, so that's probably why they let him go. So after hearing that, they're not going to be able to, like, there has to be a lot of evidence that comes up that could paint Metcalf as a bad, dangerous bully, something like that. And I don't know if that's out there. I don't know if they could do that. There's some people that are saying he was a bully. There's some people saying he was on Molly. But there's also people who made fake police chief Facebook pages saying all types of shit, right? They found a lot of fake things. So, you really can't believe anything. This is one of those things you really have to wait until the trial comes up. You have to see what the prosecution has. You got to see what the damn what the defense has, right? But in plain Texas law, it's manslaughter, unless you could prove what, that they were gonna that it was necessary to prevent immediate serious bodily harm, aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault. Oh my God. Oh man. It ain't looking good, champ. It's not looking good, champ. The fact that she got the guy off was great, but now that we see how they painted him, as an abusive woman beater who carries knives, and he just gets into it with people, right? Damn. All right, so this was the 2 year ago one. Oh, man. What else was I gonna show you? It's fucked up, man. I'm gonna go take a look at this guy's shit and see what he's saying about it. There's a lot of people that have positive outlooks on the case. I'm more of a realist. The only thing I can see is manslaughter, bro. Self-defense. Now, it sounds like there was more of a self-defense case, but the prosecution, their shit's going to weigh more, right? Because the fact that he ran away, they're going to say, oh well, if you ran anyway, you could have just left. I heard somebody make that statement a day or two ago. So I'm very interested to see what the witnesses are going to say.
Well, hang on a second, Kuala. You're talking about the Metcalf twins' father?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No, he's been talking a couple of days ago, and listen, as you should know, my mother's white, so I'm not, attacking white people. I'm trying to use what I claim to know. I'm not formally educated, but I have experience, and I have a feeling that the type of, again, effort that was put into this situation and
Shit.
how it exploded. But again, I have no proof. So he's been talking, the father, Metcalf. Yes, I saw him. He says he forgives Carmelo Anthony. I saw the
Don't fall for that shit. That's a call. That's a call. That's a call. That's to let everybody know, yo, do whatever you can to make sure this nigga pay for what he did to my son. That's what that was. Don't get it twisted. He ain't gonna get on camera and be like, I fucking hate niggas. I fucking knew they ain't good. Make sure that son of a bitch isn't. He's not gonna get on there and say that. It probably would have been better if he said that. If this kid gets bond, he can't come outside. If the kid get bond, he cannot come outside. Hopefully they got a backyard. He can go sit in the backyard, or something. All that other shit, all that other energy he got because he's only 17 and he was doing track. He's gonna go outside. Something gonna happen to you, Pop. So just stay in the house. They'll probably put him on house arrest anyway, but sometimes they might say, oh, if you want to work or some shit, you go to work and da-da-da. And he had a job before, but his name is mud in that town, man. And if he gets out, say by some miracle, he gets off like, what's that guy? Eduardo, whatever his name is. You gotta leave town, kid. Them crackers is gonna kill you. They gonna make sure something happen to you. Either you gonna get picked up again or something like that, bro. They gonna make sure.
Carmelo Anthony's family, they have a lawyer. They're not talking. Continue.
Yeah, so here's my thing about the situation. Yes, he had a knife on him. Yes, he has the right to self-defense. He does have the right to self-defense. And at the end of the day, yes, it was a tragedy. Somebody did lose their life. But at the same aspect, y'all was jumping that kid. And he did what he had to do. Anybody else would have did the same thing in that situation. We seen George Zimmerman get off on it, and we know he did what he did. But what's the difference between what he did compared to what this kid did?
I don't have the answers.
And that's,
I want to see it play out, but I want to see some video footage. Everything's recorded these days, yes? Drones every goddamn where you go into Walmart. You're being filmed. Home Depot. And I don't like the fact that law enforcement, withholds video footage and they release it when they feel it's the right time, when people have settled down. That's bullshit. Go ahead.
Now that is a CNN was just talking about that earlier today, where they I forgot the lady name from the black lady for CNN. She's saying, hey, if there was videos, release the video. She said the rumor is speculating they have videos, release the videos. She said there's two things that's going to happen with these videos. A, one of the videos is going to validate that he was defending himself, or B, is going to show that they was jumping this kid. She said, so for some reason, if y'all saying, hey, we have audio, but y'all don't want to put the audio out. But then she said they changed. Now they saying, oh, we got to get a clear cut of the videos. We can't really see it because it's raining. She said they making up 100 excuses why they don't put the video out. They were just talking about on CNN this morning. And John Moran, man,
hold on a second before we go to John Moran. Hey, Heather, I got your Cash App. Thank you, darling. You said that via Cash App, so I wanted to put that on the screen. She says when a black man says in front of the police it wasn't allegedly I did it, it was definitely self-defense. Well, I want the truth, but I have a feeling, and I just don't buy the story of the brother. I mean, listen, he's lost a brother. Condolences to the family. No rational person condones outright murder, but this may not be quote unquote murder. But hang on, before we go to John Morant qualifying blah. Anything else with regards to what you said? You say you saw a woman who also said the same thing. As an audio I just played, can you send me that link?
yes, there was a
Can you send me that?
yeah, it was a late. It was a lady. Seeing it was on CNN this morning. It was a lady on CNN, and they blanked her face. They blanked her face or whatever, and she
Send me the link to CNN.
she,
I don't pay attention to CNN, but please send me the link. I want to, look at it. But I just want to say that.
so basically what she said the same thing, the audio you just played, she said exactly the same
Okay.
thing. She said he was minding his business on that phone,
Okay.
minding his business sitting there when they approached him.
Okay. Okay.
As far as John Moran,
John
man,
Moran.
he's about to be at a league. And
What
here's
the
the
fuck
problem with
happened
him.
there?
Come on.
He's not the only one that does the gun and all that stuff in the league. There's other players that do it. The problem with him is you were suspended for a whole season. You were suspended for a whole season of showing a gun.
I don't think that was a whole season, Kuala. That wasn't a whole season, was it? I think you're.
It was I want to say about half of the season or whatever the case may be, and you lost almost like $80 million off of this because he signed a max.
Troll babies, is Kuala accurate or is he putting the sauce on it? 80 million half the season? That sounds crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So what happened? So what happened is in the NBA, if you make an all-star team or you make the first team defense, offense, all right,
I don't see
you were
this.
tied to a supermax contract. John Moran got a
I'm looking on CNN to see if I can find that shit. And this is crazy, bro. Oh man. All right, so we got a guy that came from switching over to Minister Jap. He's about to go live in a bit too. But speaking on Minister Jap, he had one caller who's actually from that part of Texas, and he was able to lend some advice.
And so I can really tell you how it really go out here.
Okay.
First of all, I remember when Frisco, Texas was just a plot of land. You know what I'm saying? This was back when I graduated high school in like 2001. It really wasn't too many people out there in Frisco. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand if you're not from around here. Frisco is where the people that got money, white folk, that's where they go live. All your Dallas Cowboy players, Dallas Stars, Texas Rangers, they live out there. So that's where the money is. So the white folks out there, if they feel like you don't belong, then they will fuck with you. It's not. I heard somebody in the comments say it Frisco like a sundown town. Nah, bro, it ain't no sundown town. It's hella money out there. We talking $1 million mansions everywhere out there. So I'm pretty sure that young black man, his family probably got some money. You know what I'm saying? And them white kids probably felt like he probably didn't belong. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I know how the suburbs of Dallas go, especially with the kids. I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in close to Plano, Texas, which is right next to Frisco. So I know all about it. I grew up, I had a lot of white friends. I went to a mixed school, blacks, Mexicans, Africans, Asians, man. I went to school with everybody.
Tethers.
Yeah, a lot of tellers. Went to school with a lot of tellers. But as far as the white kids, bro, I was cool with most of the white kids. We just had, trouble from like a handful of them. You know what I'm saying? And hey, at the last week of school, hey, we got it on. You know what I'm saying? Whatever beef you got during the school year, last week of school, you gonna get it on. So
Remember the last day of school? It's always nonstop fights all day.
Non-stop. So, with this whole Karmelo Anthony thing, I think a lot of people are pushing it, to a whole nother level where it shouldn't go, making it a race thing. But in actuality, if you look at that North Dallas area, Plano, Collin County area. Yeah, it is, certain parts, you got your blacks, you got your whites, you got a lot of Asians out there, but as far as the schools go, man, the schools are wonderful. It's really where you would want to send your kids to school. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you feel about this case?
How do I feel about the case? Well, since I'm from Texas, I already know they're gonna try to railroad them. And that's the part that I hate. But I feel like it ain't gonna be no murder charge. It's probably gonna be, like you said, manslaughter. It'll probably be like 10 to 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But he's young. If he get 10, that's a blessing because he can do 7 on the 10 and come back home. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
He'll still have the rest of his life, man. He's a young man. 7 years, yeah, it's a lot, but
that's why he need that's why he need them lawyers. That's why he need good lawyers. He need a good defense. Nigga, 7.
Yeah, typically on Texas on a manslaughter charge, like I said, 10 to 15 years. If he get 10, he'll at least have to do 7 years on that 10. Maybe 8. Good behavior and everything. He won't have to do a whole 10 piece. You know what I'm saying? But they are gonna send him to TDC. You know what I'm saying? That's what I hate for the young brother. You know what I'm saying? That's just keeping it real, keeping it 100.
Damn, bro. Damn, bro. I hope there's some damning evidence against the Metcalfs. Because I heard that they were bullies. I heard, and it just need to be some more evidence on his side because it's painting him. It don't paint him as the aggressor, but it's like overuse of force type of shit. And he had the ability to leave. Even when he did run, he tossed the evidence. Like, and I know you're a kid, he panicked and shit like that. And that's gonna be taken into consideration. But it don't look good. Like it don't look good as we want it to be.
And I'm gonna tell you another reason why it looks so bad is because, like I say, Frisco is a nice part of Dallas where like a lot of money is. And white folks, they don't like all that riffraff shit out there. You know what I'm saying? They try their best to move as far away from us as they can. So all the people that live out there, they got bread. They got big bread, long money out there. Okay. So when them white folks that send they white kids to school out there, they don't want their kids getting all this hood drama and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And I heard
that makes Frisco look bad.
I heard Texas prisons ain't no joke.
Nah, bro, TDC ain't no joke, bro. For real. I got family members that's been in and out of TDC. It's no joke. But it really shakes up the white people out there. Like I say, they don't like little Glocktavians just running around out there. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. The white folks, they don't want young men like Karmelo Anthony out there. They feel like they don't belong unless you out there playing sports. And if you're playing sports out there, you need to stay in line, follow the guidelines, and keep your black ass, sit your black ass down somewhere. That's what it is, Jay. I'm telling you.
That's what it is. I mean, it's the game is gonna be always harsher on a straight black man. So you gotta move accordingly. You gotta know that the game is skewed to railroad you, and nobody's gonna have your back. Women are not gonna have your back, and so-called enlightened niggas are gonna throw you under the bus whenever they get a chance to.
And it's crazy because if this would have happened 30 minutes on the other side of town, like Oak Cliff, you know what I'm saying, where all the black people at, where Carter High School was on that movie Friday Night Lights. Now, if this would have happened over there in the hood, where the white boy would have stabbed the black boy, it would have been, man, it'd probably be a race ride right now in Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like I told you, it's only two things that could have been like an open and shut case with this. If he was gay or if that was a woman. If Karmelo was a black girl and did this, it wouldn't be all this. It'd be open and shut case. It was self-defense. If he was gay, self-defense. But now they gonna fight it. They're gonna fight it.
Yeah, because they got to prove a point. You know, them white folks out there in Collin County, Frisco, Allen, you know what I'm saying? They got to prove a point, man. And I hate that they're going to try to use Carmelo Anthony to prove that point. You know, that's why I pray that he does just get like a manslaughter charge, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I say, he can still, you know, he can still come home and still have his youth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate, man. They about to take a lot of his life away from him, man. Hey, brother, I appreciate you coming through, man, bringing us that perspective from Texas, man. Blessings to
For
you.
sure, Jeff.
Getting some Texas perspective, man. Back to Dana and the judge. Let's see what they got to say.
Or whatever is not charged with the homicide. The people who are charged with the homicide are the ones that started the robbery. So in this case, you have a party that
We're gonna go to Buggin. Just go ahead. He live right now. Let's see what's up.
You did. It's a real nigga party. Everybody may not be able to stay at the cookout. Stop letting fuck niggas get comfortable at the cookout. See, that's the problem. Too many fuck niggas that got comfortable talking shit in our family. This family business. Can you dig that? Realest podcast. Minister Jap. You already know Chi-Town's own streets ordained. I really do this. Yeah, all the tethers, scrub your feet before you come to our cookout, nigga. Go sanitize, fuck niggas. We gonna sanitize these fuck niggas today, man. I know a man support men. Too many faceless niggas with opinions. You gotta stop arguing with these faceless niggas, man. Show your face and stand on it.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Tell us put some socks on. Learn how to use a fork and a knife. You know? Oh, man. Big forehead ass niggas. We about to cook, man. We here, man. Shout out to Brutal Review, man, with the 2. Let's get it, man. Church, check in, man. Talk to me, you musty tethers. Shout out to Tariq, man. Shout out to the FBA family. Oh, my God. Shout out to Tariq, man. He kills me with that musty tethers. Musty ass
Oh
tethers.
my God.
You know, we about to cook, man. We standing on business, man. You know what I'm saying? All these imitation niggas, man. Trying to have the swag like a real nigga, man. You can't even do it right.
Shut the fuck up!
They don't even do it right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a nigga, man. It's so crazy, man. Get your own culture, man.
Everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga. Don't nobody want to be fucking Karmelo right now, boy.
And be judged like one. Then you want to turn on your white. You want to turn off your black scent and your white man accent. I know what you niggas doing. I know what you niggas out here doing, man. We standing on business today, man. We cooking, man. How y'all feeling, man? You know, I gave y'all a day off. I gave y'all some time off, man. Y'all did a plethora of ass eating. You got to stand on FBA business shirts again. Yeah, man. You know, like I say, man, I'm an objective nigga. I'm your brother, so I can judge you. But I'm never gonna be sitting around in a powwow with some white folks going in on my folks. I go in on y'all with y'all. We gonna correct us. We don't need no white motherfuckers trying to correct us. They gotta stay out of black folk business. And that's for the non-FBAs too. Stay out of our business. You know what I'm saying? Because we know your intentions. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of niggas be thinking like, you can lump me in with everybody. I am not, just because you see me with niggas in the past, I don't agree with everybody. I don't be like, oh, you used to fuck with this motherfucker. Oh, what about what they do? What these niggas do ain't what I do. As long as they don't do shit and say shit about me, I ain't saying shit about them. But don't try to put the blame on when another nigga do some fuck shit, you know what I'm saying, and try to put that on Jap. Nah, man. And I don't go in on niggas that I know personally that I can hit them on the phone, because that's not part of the 30 code. You know what I'm saying? That's not gangster, that's not G. If you got a problem with these niggas, you may have seen me, you go address them. I deal with niggas personally when I got a problem with them.
Oh, shit.
Don't tell me who I need to talk about. Don't tell me what I need to do on my show. Get your own fucking show or go to a fuck nigga show. Just because you a bitch, I'm not gonna be a bitch with you. At the end of the day, I created something called the 30 code, which is a way how men move, and I live and die by it. So at the end of the day, you may not understand because you don't have a code that you live by. I always told you, you know somebody, it's not for you to be going online and you know that motherfucker personally, you address that motherfucker personally. You see what I'm saying? Y'all want to be the bitches with the T. This ain't I got the receipts, I got the T-ass channel. Take y'all, it's plenty of them fuck niggas out there, man. I'm not a screenshot, I got the T-ass nigga. I'm a real nigga. You know, any nigga got a problem with me that know me, they can call me. And I can call them. But just because another nigga do something, don't lump me in with what they do. I make my own decisions and my own move.
Yo, hold on. I just came across this here. So, saying 3 years ago, Karmelo saved the young boy from drowning. It wasn't Karmelo. The child would have died. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. That looks good. All right. Upon release of details. Let me blow this up a little bit. All right. Upon release the details of Karmelo Anthony I fully stand behind him. Okay. What is this?
Let me start this off by saying that I meant everything that I said. Threatening to sue me for saying that someone who allegedly put a knife into a kid's heart is evil is baffling. This is what happens when you expose wickedness. Now, mind you, I've been one of the more fair and objective voices in this matter. If the allegations are all true, then it went like this. Karmelo was underneath a tent that he should not have been. He was told to move, the confrontation escalated, but he took it to another level to which there is no excuse. Putting a knife in someone's heart over something so petty is evil. If the allegations are true, then he belongs in prison. Subpoena me. My legal funding is very long, and I am very comfortable in a courtroom.
This new age. You know, I read a report that said 48% of black men identify as gay. Relax, bitches, because 61% of you bitches also identify as fucking gay. So it shit just fucking nuts, man. Jesus, three heavens. All right, what's next? This was the audio that we listened to. We can listen to it again just in case somebody's here.
Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent.
Oh my God, why this shit so low, bro? How about this one? Just low?
Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude. The dude was sitting up under the tent, right? His phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro. He wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened.
Now, I mean, did the punches land? Was saying that they tried to punch on him. Did the punches land, bro? All right, okay.
Karmelo Anthony case, and I have to let y'all hear this because this is the piece I have been missing that I have been waiting for the witnesses, for the students around the situation to see what happened, and this is what he had to say.
Trying to get back to their cars or
this is the witness.
Get in, places where they,
Karmelo was on his phone.
They went from another. They grabbed this man.
Grabbed him.
And they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in the bag and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened.
Mind you, this man does not know Karmelo.
Just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother. Went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is
wasn't on school property.
Miles away. It was community track, bro. It wasn't a school track meet.
Thank you. Finally, y'all, a witness came out.
All right, we needed more than one. There was fucking 30 or so underneath that shit, bro. Yep, definitely. I agree with that. Pray for both families, right? According to witness testimony told to police, Metcalf initiated the physical altercation. Anthony responded in defense by stabbing damn, bro, you typed this wrong. By stabbing Metcalf. On the surface, this looks like self-defense. What is this? Houston 11, soon after the witness said Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, at which point the affidavit continues. Anthony reportedly pulled out what the witness called a black knife and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away. Touch me and see what happens. No one really thought he had a weapon in his bag. He proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told him to punch him and see what happens. Short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what Blank recalled as a black knife and stabbed him in the chest. All right, we saw that. I'm trying to see if there's some video. Does somebody just happen to pull up video? That guy's a dick. I hate that guy. I ain't no video yet, man. Let me see something here, man. Let me see. That's the only thing that popped up? Just fucking Charleston White shit. Put there's no videos yet, man. Ain't nothing out there yet, man. Jesus, three heavens, man. You know, they got that shit on lock.
Two, you know what I'm saying? Senseless or self-defense. That's the dilemma we're in right now. It comes to the Anthony, the Karmelo Anthony, and Austin Metcalf case. It's a tragedy. Rest in peace to the young man. Condolences to the family. But as the black family, we got to make sure that we govern ourselves and react logically and give the young brother a chance, because at the end of the day, y'all gave chances to the worst. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to tell you, as a black man, I'm ashamed of this shit that I seen. The George Floyd murals, the golden casket, that ain't the type of man that our community is supposed to be behind, but we was behind them. Got niggas to this day still fighting over this nigga. When you Google George Floyd's background, this young man is only 17 years old, and his background is better than George Floyd's whole life. I think he deserves a chance to be heard the fuck out. When you look at George Floyd's background, you got English drug charges, prison. You got robbing a pregnant woman with a gun to her stomach in a home invasion. Then you got porno. Pervert, you are a pervert.
Wrong.
None of y'all Black Lives Matter motherfuckers talk about the George Floyd porno. Pervert, you are. Them dudes calling this senseless prop up Fleece Johnson. Thank you. Thank you. Fleece is my dog, ass niggas. But again, y'all get mesmerized by another nigga's lifestyle, and y'all deem that Anton Daniels shit to be cool and fly and flash. Okay, that's cool. Sitting down with a straight Geechee, sex playing you, and bigging up Fleece goddamn Johnson, but this is senseless. Fleece Johnson is not only a Geechee, but he's a rapist of black men. Tell me these niggas don't do it for the views. It wasn't one black YouTuber that stood on business the way I did with that shit. I left it alone. Cause I know what niggas gonna say. Oh, you ain't got the subscribers. Oh, you hate. We gonna wait.
Oh shit.
We gonna wait. When I blow up, trust me. I'm gonna make sure y'all niggas, fam, if you think I'm gonna let that ride, you crazy. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna stick to the facts of the story. Ain't no grown man about to sex play me. Wrong guy. Wrong guy.
Oh shit.
I don't need views that bad to be sitting down with no Geechee rapist of black men. Wrong guy. That's when your integrity comes into play. That's when your dignity comes into play. That's when motherfuckers say, what do you really stand for, my nigga? See, I stand for the free thinking straight black man, and I'm always stand on that shit for y'all, even if you hate me for it. Even if you hate me for it. The nigga don't want to. Last thing a nigga want to do is roast with me, man. I'm sparing niggas. Trust me. It's light work. But I know how niggas play it. They hide behind money, hide behind views. Wait till I get the money and the views. It's cool. Then what a nigga gonna do? What a nigga gonna say? But we chilling. And it's never personal. Never personal. Never personal. You know what I'm saying? Never personal. Never hating. You know what I'm saying?
The fuck? What the fuck happened? The fuck they just cut my shit off? That was wild. That never happened before.
An authentic nigga with experience in these streets and with these bitches and on every level, corporate, whatever, however nigga want to take it. The authenticity, my authenticity just too much.
So somebody got here. While I'm playing this, I'm trying to look and find it. Apparently, Metcalf Pops was arrested for some crazy shit. Let's see what's up.
There's not another website nowhere on the planet that could compare or compete. You should become a member today. Everybody knows Seti popping on Patreon, dropping nuclear bombs on available videos. That's, you know, he was perfect. You know, he's you know, he want to take. You understand what I'm saying? He want to take. He's a barbarian. He's a goddamn caveman. Dragged a woman by her hair and shit.
Oh.
You know, he got barbaric ways.
So the father raped somebody. Get the fuck out of here. Let's rewind it back a little bit.
That's right. When you assault a sexual assault charge. What? Good son of a bitch. Being a dirty bum, low down, no good son of a bitch. That's right. When you assault a sexual assault charge. What? I think his name was, what was it? Fred G. Sanford. And we know that's a Red Fox off of Sanford and Son, but that's his alias. Fred G. Sanford off of TikTok. If y'all want to check him out, go on over there. Make sure you subscribe to the brother, because we got some video from the brother, and he broke the information about Austin Metcalf's father being a dirty bum, being a dirty bum, low down.
This motherfucker. Guy's voice is crazy. All right, so he said TikTok, Fred G. Sanford, right? Let me go over here real quick.
Literally, all you have to do is stay single, bro. Like, I know it sounds simple, but all my life, like, I always felt like I needed a chick. And then a couple months that I did.
They doing every fucking thing they can possible to find dirt on Carmelo Anthony and his family, and it's pissing them off that they can't. That family is spotless. Other than these fucking videos that they're trying to flash on social media of Carmelo Anthony giving the finger and possibly maybe holding up a fake plastic gun. Other than that stupid shit, the media can't find shit on Carmelo Anthony and his family. They want so bad to drag that family through the fucking mud so it can look bad on them come trial time. How many times you seen a black celebrity get arrested, then go to court and sit in front of a jury that's not of his peers? That's exactly what's gonna fucking happen to Carmelo Anthony if we don't get on the ball and try to find some evidence to clear this fucking kid. I'm the only fucking one pushing this. I'm the only one on social media pushing the father. I'm the only one on social media blaming the father. In 2011, Jeffrey Metcalf was arrested for SA. Those twins was 4 years old at the time. Shortly after that, the mother, Megan, packed up those fucking twins and got the fuck out of that house. Let's put the blame on him. Let's blame him for his son not being here. We need to shift focus. I don't mind dragging a Metcalf through the fucking mud if I could save Carmelo Anthony's fucking life. It's some shit going on with this guy, and the world needs to see it. I'm the only one on social media pushing this shit. I'm begging and I'm asking for help to push this narrative. He's hiding something. He's fucking hiding something. What if, just what if he, nah, to those, nah. And maybe those boys are the way they are because of what the father. I would harbor resentment for the rest of my fucking life. Maybe those boys had to grow up a little bit faster than other 17-year-olds. Here's the problem.
Yo, this shit is crazy. They got this
Every
motherfucker
fucking
up here.
thing they can possible to find dirt on Carmelo.
Damn.
Here's the story of a girl named Megan.
This guy's crazy.
Who was young, single, and ready to leave home. Had no idea of how she was gonna do it, but her plan was to leave. Then one day, Megan met Jeff. He saw her and knew it was right.
Yo. Shout out to Seti. Oh shit, excuse me. Seti brought that to my attention. And Jap might not know that, so we're gonna bring that to Jap attention.
For niggas, man. Why niggas hate, man? I make the shit look good.
Come on, man. What the fuck, man?
No. I'm saying this is my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. You cursed at him and stuff.
He always in a situation where he got to stand up for motherfuckers, and I'm pretty sure the nigga behind the camera was black. You know what I'm saying? But this is the tension in this town that is parents, and this is another reason why I'm tired of comfortable, so-called educated black folks, so-called well-off black folks thinking that it's safe in white neighborhoods and not knowing the dangers that you put your kids in because they are alienated. They still black. Don't think you not black because you don't live around black.
Bro, all you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move? This is respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk?
See, and they under a tent. It's obviously be problems. This is just probably one of that we got on tape. It's probably been a lot of problems under these goddamn tents.
Over these damn tents. Texas is fucking hot, so I could get it.
When he goes under these tents, they always playing with him and his people. We got to let the facts come out, not just facts that they just want us to see.
Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro. He can talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. He just doing his job.
Hey, we're good. No, hey.
Let's just respect each other, bro. For sure.
I'm not trying to be. No, yeah.
You cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's fucking way the TV is my tailgate. I can see him.
He didn't have to cuss at him though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
Whoa, what's the problem?
No, he just.
Hey, back up. What's the problem?
No, he just cussed him out, bro. And I was like,
he said y'all get up. He asked you to get up. Hey, what's the problem?
Is he drunk? Because if he's drunk, then it's okay.
What's the problem?
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
No, nobody was arguing with him or nothing. He just cursed at him like he was a child. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't.
Okay, see, they don't even really recognize him. He's talking logically. You know what I'm saying? Again, we don't know what he goes through in this damn town that his so-called well-off, educated, comfortable black family put him in. This is what happens when you bring your kids out here thinking that it's sweet and thinking that you better than the black folks.
Everybody, you know? No, I'm just explaining to you what happened.
Okay, I
appreciate
it. Good.
Sure.
Have a good day.
For sure.
Don't walk over to him.
I'm not.
See, they automatically think that he's confrontational. He does not seem confrontational at all. So I judge this whole situation. I looked at his character, I'm looking at his background, and then I look at the backgrounds of the people that y'all support, and I'm like, hold on, man. Because y'all gonna keep throwing George Floyd in this. You throw George Floyd background in here, it goes to porno and felonies. So if porno and felonies could get the benefit of the doubt, I'm sure this young man deserves some grace. I'm sure he deserves some grace. But the last thing he needs is his own brothers throwing him under the bus so he can't even fight his goddamn case. You know, you niggas that sit down with Big Meech and want to sit down with the real Rick Ross and all this shit. All of these criminals, like they heroes. Oh, I'm saving that. I'm saving that, Brutal Reviews. We know about his pop stuff. Trust me. Trust me. Churston did the research. Much love to Brutal Reviews, man. We gonna get into his Pops record. You know, it's so much I gotta cover. But again, black men are our own biggest traitors, man. We gotta restore order and dignity amongst us to be respected, because look at what we do respect. We got niggas respecting rapists. That's my dog. Okay. You let it be known. We ain't gonna stop.
The first words was, girl, you thick as cold grits. Can I have your number? Megan said to Jeff, what are you saying? Are you saying that you like me? He said, yes, if I can get your number, I will call you soon.
God, crazy.
You see, I'm a realtor here in Texas. That's what Jeff said to Megan. Megan eyeballs had that $sign and said ching ching. And she knew she was the one who was gonna get a new house and an umbrella that said security. That Megan thought that she found the one and everything all right. The relationship went good for a while, and then Megan came to say, she said, Jeffrey, I think I may be pregnant with not one but two. Jeffrey said, what the fuck are you talking about? I have a career and this is not what I want. Megan said, you should have used a Jimmy, and I'm keeping these kids. So prior to the big delivery, the two got married and tried to work it out. But things just wasn't the same, 'cause Megan knew Jeffrey's intentions was not to have a family.
God's nuts, man.
Do y'all see where I'm going with this?
He didn't even want the
I
twins.
can keep going on and on.
You saying he didn't want the twins?
Then one day, after Jeff went to work, Megan was peeping after thresholds and the blinds to make sure the car was out of the driveway so she can go on her treasure hunt. Once she was sure that the car was down the street, she went to Jeff's bedroom to look around. She looked under the mattress and in the closets and in his pants to see if she can find something on him. Her feelings wasn't feeling of good feelings. She knew that he had done something in his past.
Damn.
She didn't know what, but she was determined to find out if it was the last thing she'd do. Then one day them twins came and said to Mama, they said, Mama, Jeff is not acting like a daddy.
What?
Mom said, what? What kids? What are you talking about? Let me go and talk to him. Jeff, my kids say you're acting funny. Is that something you want to talk to me about? Jeff said, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just my persona now. Listen, those two got some shit in their closet. That Jeffrey, his Here's the story of a girl named Megan who was young, single, and ready to leave home. Had no idea of how she was gonna do it.
Until she got pregnant by a nigga.
But her plan was to leave. Then one day, Megan met Jeff. He saw her and knew it was right.
This guy kind of.
Hey, yo, TikTok.
Hey, yo, TikTok.
Kane and O-Dog, they really didn't
He called him Kane and
have that
O-Dog?
4.0 GPA like everybody thinks.
What?
You see, these two got pushed along in school because they was really good in sports. I guarantee you, the coach of that football team went to each one of their classes and spoke to the teachers individually and said, we need these two guys on our team if we have any chance at hell of making it to the championship. So they got pushed along. And that 4.0 shit we keep talking about, these two, nah, didn't happen. Nah. You see, by them getting pushed along, it gave them the perception that they were smart and they was passing their courses in school, which they weren't. They were just getting passed along just so they can play fucking football. Yeah. And as they was getting passed along, the bullying and shit started to come in play because they thought they was just the shit and they was the jocks of that high school and they were just bullying fucking people. Nowhere in hell these two have a 4.0 GPA. I don't believe it. I believe more of Shamar having a GPA of a 90 than these two having a 4.0 GPA.
Shamar? Who the fuck is Shamar?
Hey, yo, TikTok. Kane and O-Dog, they really didn't have that 4.0 GPA like everybody thinks.
Kane and O-Dog.
You see, these two got pushed along in school because they was really good in sports. I guarantee.
I guess he watched a lot of Fred Sanford. Yep, he loved Fred Sanford.
Yo, TikTok. Contrary to popular belief.
Did he make a shirt with these niggas?
I don't need to deliberate. Hey, that nigga now. I got the rope right here.
Give me head. When the fuck pussy turn red.
This nigga made a shirt. Yo, this dude made a shirt with oh my God. And he put Menace to Society on that shit. Oh shit.
TikTok. Contrary to popular belief, Lorenz Tate and Tyrene Turner were not the original Kane and O-Dog in Menace to Society. You see, the Metcalf twins auditioned for that role as well. Yeah, Austin was O-Dog.
Wow. Wow. Fucking nuts. He got the shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
He got
Yo, Tick.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. Holy shit. We never would have found this dude if it wasn't for that crazy ass nigga SETI. SETI crazy. That's a crazy ass nigga.
No good son of a bitch. That's right. When you assault a sexual assault charge. What? Whoa. Yeah, that's you know, we are seeing the pit.
This nigga Pops is all over fucking oh shit. Oh this opens up all kind of fucking speculation, but that speculation don't pass. You need facts in the court of law. But this opens up all kind of speculation about them damn kids, man. Jesus Christ. This guy put his state picture on his shirt.
Picture what type of lineage you see a Austin Metcalf come up out of. They just, they.
And the crazy part, when I do my stats, B, and I show y'all the sexual assault, 69% whites. Bro, it's fucking nuts. Niggas always taking pussy from bitches, B.
Just a perfect family. Yeah, they just a perfect family.
I did that.
Father, he's he want to take. You understand what I'm saying? He want to take. He's a barbarian. He's a goddamn caveman. Drag the woman by her hair and shit. He got barbaric ways. And then his son think he can beat up on just a mirror image. A mirror image. So you see what's happening here. The profile is set. It's clear what type of family this is. Yeah, his mama probably ain't no different than the whole family. They're just the Crews. You understand what I'm saying? There ain't nothing but the Crews and shit, And so we gonna get right into this video. We want to get this information out here. We keeping it pumping. We know a lot of people want to check in over here on the General's page, Sarasu said his page, so we got to have the information available. You feel me? Let's tap into this brother, chime into this brother, Fred G. Sanford. Let's get this popping, y'all. And Black Power to all my family out there today. Yeah, here we go. Let me get this popping.
They doing every fucking thing they can possible to find.
All right, yeah, that's something that we watch. Now, my man here, I'm sure he did a lot of research, see what he found.
This wasn't really sanctioned by the high school, but let's go.
He wasn't tough enough. Blame his goddamn self. That's a decision he made on his own when he decided to put a knife in his book bag. You can't allow that type of way of thinking in this world when you carrying a weapon. That's premeditation, especially if you're not concealed to carry. That's a child. Now he got to learn like an adult. Hello.
Okay. Brother spoke. Now, one thing I can respect about what he said, you don't really necessarily have to carry a knife, and if you have to carry a knife, you want to, you know what comes with that. But the other thing that I do respect about him speaking is that he spoke and showed his fucking face. Not like these coward motherfuckers online doing voiceovers and all that shit. No, he stood on what the fuck he said. He stood on it. Okay. He made his voice count. Now, what I will have to say to y'all, man, and I want to talk to the black women. Black women, I need y'all to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up!
Why, Jap? We want to speak, we the sisters. We don't need you speaking on this. Because I'm going to be honest with you, black women. Y'all are the biggest agitators and perpetuators of racial tensions, and y'all been trying to get a race war started that y'all not gonna bleed for. It's gonna be black men that have to bleed for the bullshit that y'all prop up. I don't need y'all bitches with microphones right now.
They ain't died in the first war.
We do not need black women speaking on behalf of this situation, leading the fight, starting the fight that they not gonna fight.
Yeah.
This is real life, no debate. So when the tension kicks off between the races, you gonna be hiding, talk about, oh, we got to protect black women. Black women, sit the fuck down, fall back. Have our back in silence. See, ain't nobody gonna tell y'all that. All the hotels, yeah, we got our sisters are in the fight. Our sisters are not in no damn fight. And if we black men and we allow our sisters to be on the front line, we bitches.
Facts.
Our women need to be put the fuck up. And they need to shut the fuck up. Exactly. Because y'all are the reason why our communities are torn down, because of your leadership with Black Lives Matter. We do not need that shit 2.0.
Facts.
Because you not gonna do shit. Keisha, Tasha, Felicia, Aisha, Quanda, you're not gonna do a goddamn thing.
Yep. That's a fact.
So don't get it kicked off, because we gotta address this mess. Don't say, oh, I'm front line. Bitch, you just talking.
Uh-huh.
You gonna fuel the flames and not be there to put out the fire when the fire is blazing.
Raging.
So please fall back. In Jesus' name. It angers me when women want to start talking on this shit now. Y'all the same motherfuckers that been tearing black men down for the longest.
Yep.
We don't need y'all voice in none of this. This free thinking straight black man business. Y'all had the food ready and the house clean when we come back from this fight. Rub our shoulders in this fight. But don't you jump on the front line fucking around, you know what I'm saying, and making it so we gotta defend your bullshit. Cause you think you some type of revolutionary who ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. You ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. You wouldn't fight a code, you wouldn't fight a traffic ticket, you wouldn't fight for your rights, motherfucker. Sit down. Get out the way. Get out of our way. Trying to get shine off of this shit. Throwing our young black brothers under the bus. You've been throwing us under the bus for the longest. It's hard for us to trust your support, but you want to support us? Shut the fuck up and sit in the crib. Shut the fuck up! You know, support your black man. You know what I'm saying? If you got one, stop trying to be one, because you ain't one. You don't want this job. You don't want this responsibility of walking around as a free-thinking straight black man, so stop trying to be one. You cannot hack it. You cannot walk in the black man's shoes. Stop trying. You don't know where the hell you going in your life. The black man is the navigation system to your stupid ass. You need headphones and instructions, not a microphone. Instigating this shit.
Not all of you, so let me just get that out the way. But a bunch of y'all are just a bunch of racist, bigoted crisis actors.
See, y'all been, before this happened, black women be online all day, running their mouth. That girl laying down ain't gonna do nothing. She'll lay down before she do something. Black men are the only reason they are free today instead of cleaning Master's house. We freed us. Yes.
People really believe that that kid had the right to tell Karmelo to move. This kid wasn't working security. He wasn't given no responsibility. He wasn't the seat manager. Like, if that kid would have just minded his own business, would he or would he not still be alive?
Officer got unalive. A lot of people are trying to make it a race issue, and it's not. It has nothing to do with that right there. This was...
And I really don't think it had anything to do with racism. I just think it's bullying. I think it was bullying. And the races just happened to fall into the narrative. I think it was bullying.
Self-defense.
I think it was bullying. Because you remember on the, I don't know if you guys watched the show BMF.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same example. The cop on BMF had a son. His son was getting bullied. Son was getting bullied. And all of a sudden, he outside, he brings his dad's gun to the basketball court and claps a motherfucker. His dad still had to be there for him. The young man was gonna end up doing some time. He had to be there for him. Y'all know how the story go, but I'm just telling you. There are good kids getting bullied and shit happens. Tragedies happen.
That's a fact.
But it ain't for the black man, the free thinking straight black man, to see a young prospect brother, a good brother in training, to throw him under the bus for some goddamn views. You niggas ain't shit, man. You know, but our women gotta keep their mouth shut, man, because it's you so-called revolutionary black women who I know say y'all on the front line, but ain't gonna do nothing, gonna get this shit kicked off and be sitting at the crib, you know what I'm saying, while we're in jail and y'all don't got our bail. That's the truth.
Y'all not gonna make me believe or feel any kind of sympathy for Austin Metcalf at all. He put his hands on that young man when he should have kept them hands to himself. When the young...
Now, again, she's approaching this like a black woman would. Because, let me tell you, a black woman would have did the same thing that Karmelo Anthony did, but the outcome would not be the same. See, I'm talking to the brothers because we get different outcomes. Don't let, and the single mothers are hype up their sons to think that they're gonna get this outcome like their mother would get. You're not.
Oh, I gotta pause his live. He ain't even fucking lying. She will gas you up. Oh, you gonna let him do that? Don't you better do this, this, and this, and that nigga go to school and fucking get locked up, man. Oh, he ain't even lying.
This estrogen energy is gonna get a lot of people hurt.
He put his hands on that young man when he should have kept them hands to himself. When the young man told him, touch me and see, you better not touch me, that meant that I don't want you in my face. I don't want you touching me. Rosa Parks days is over. You cannot think that you can move somebody out of a seat that you don't own.
And we gotta understand, a lot of these young boys are getting coached by some of the most violent in our community. Black women are immediately violent because they have no consequence. And that's why a lot of these young YNs don't think that there's consequences for their violence because of what black women are teaching and instilling in them as far as defense.
And think that it's going to be okay. And you can't determine how I'm going to retaliate on you when you put your hands on me in an aggressive manner. Austin Metcalf got exactly what he deserved. Point blank, period. It's time out for feeling sorry for somebody's feelings or feeling emotional about somebody's feelings. Austin Metcalf should have kept his damn hands to himself. Point blank, period.
Agree. We don't need you talking right now, though. Y'all women have done enough to black men to where we need to be hearing advice and strategy from you.
Oh, they don't even like us, bro.
We don't need no strategy from the black woman. This is men's work right now. Women, y'all free to listen, but we don't need y'all. We don't need y'all strategy. I'm gonna be honest with you. FBA or nothing, it don't matter. Women, this is when you fall the fuck back. Cause y'all mouth will stir up more shit. You will fuck up his case with your mouth.
Yeah.
That video of that lady will fuck around and go viral, and they think that she speaks on behalf of all black folks, and we ready to go on a race war. This is gonna be as controversial as the O.J. Simpson case or Rodney King. I can agree. That's why it's serious, and that's why we have got to strategize on what's to come. We know the mistakes that was made with the George Floyd shit. We cannot be tearing up our own communities and allowing other tethers and foreigners and white folks to come in our community and tear it down while they go back to Mayberry. We got to learn from our mistakes on how we handle shit. Because I'm telling you right now, if white folks don't get the outcome that they want, and let's say he does go scot-free, they will not riot.
Nah, it's gonna be up, bro. It's gonna be up. I mean, up in the way.
White folks only riot when their favorite team wins.
Yo, they going like them two twins last month that were going on a plane, a 7:00 flight, right? So you got to be there 2 hours early. So they were out there at 5:00. They were found on the top of a mountain, 11 a.m. by some guy. Two twins. So you know, like 2023, I think even 24. There was a dude who was hanging over a bridge. Like, they be sneaking and sliding and snatching niggas up and doing their shit every now and then, man. But this shit here, because they making him look like, you know, like an all-American good kid and you know the best things since white bread. They lose this. Keep your kids off the lawn. Keep an eye on your kids. I got something else to show you too. I didn't like looking at it. I didn't like looking at it, but I'm gonna show it to you.
That's how we gotta treat black women. Gotta treat black women like Uncle Earl. Come on.
He attacked an unarmed person. No.
Now, this is another example of what I tell y'all. Black men, stop doing things to make yourself look guilty.
Yeah.
All this scribble scrabble on your face, I don't give a fuck what he charged with. When they take a picture of your ass and you go up there and they read off the charges, you just look guilty. Before they read the charges off, nigga, the jurors are like, this nigga did it. What they say he did? Yeah, he did that shit. This nigga look like he eats human beings.
He defended himself against two teenagers, 200 plus.
230,
were trying to
baby.
bully him.
Niggas was 230. Yeah,
That's what happened. And again, y'all are upset because this black boy decided to stand up for himself. Y'all mad because that black boy stood his ground.
All right, I'm gonna show you this real quick. Tell me what you think about it. It's a little unnerving, but you know.
Stressful for everybody lately. All the news is pretty much just bad news. But I got some more bad news. That's the best part. There's a problem that I don't really see many people talking about, so I'm going to bring it up. There is a huge white nationalist movement going on in the United States. I knew about it years ago, but there wasn't anything I could do because it's freedom of speech. Plus, they're very organized and they're very hidden. And it's not just like a couple clubs, you know, down south. It's not just that. They have them in every single state. In bigger states, they have them in every single city. And it's not just like a club where people come together and, you know, have a couple drinks and play cards. It is, they are training. They organized together with outside chapters to work out martial arts, firearms. They also do other things that, you know, just regular dude shit. But these are not just dudes. These are dudes that have been training for the past few years because they want to be ready for what's about to happen. And everybody told me I was crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Why are you spending that much money on ammunition? Why do you work out so much? This is why. I told people that when this shit happens, don't come to me. I was crazy every day but one. The day it happened. Now, I'm going to hold your hand when I'm telling you this because I mean this in the nicest way. If you are a bigger person, you need to lose weight fast. You need to go get a gym membership. You need to work out. If you are out of shape in any way or form, even if you're in shape, you need to join a gym. Lift weights. Do cardio. If you have a boxing membership or some type of martial arts, even better. If you do not own a firearm, buy one. Practice with it. Yeah, they're expensive. Put it on a fucking credit card. Not like we're going to last long enough for you to pay it off. And no, don't buy a freaking High Point. You need to do your research. Buy something very reliable. Buy something that you can afford as well. Buy ammo. Buy ammo. If you can afford plates, buy them. Level 4 plates. Buy tactical first aid kits. Make a bug out bag. I know there's some people that have had trouble getting in shape. This is a reason to, because this isn't a negotiation anymore. Now you don't have a choice. You have to. This will save your life. You got a bunch of social medias, delete them. I mean it, delete them. That $500 billion that we're putting into AI, we already have AI. They're going to use it as surveillance. They are going to access your phone without you knowing. And be careful what you say to people, because over 100,000 members worldwide of this organization, they'll turn you in when things go south. And the names of the clubs will not always be obvious. I want to point that out. They have hundreds of different names, and not all of them you would think, oh, that's a club. Be safe.
Now, he's right. The night before last, sound like a movie. The night before last, we were on the live, and we were in we were watching the video of the live of the chicks who hate black men and shit. The divesting channel, right? And the woman that went on there who said she thinks it should be significantly less of us and all of that shit, she said she's a member of Stormfront. And then, you know, I never heard of Stormfront, and we went and we looked up Stormfront and saw what the fuck it was. It's a white supremacy forum, and they meet up for meetings, and they go do marches or protests or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and it's a black woman who was a member of it, who said there should be significantly less of us. And if her man isn't racist towards black men, she dumps them. So he's right. When you think of Stormfront, there was a movie called Stormfront. You know, you're not going to think, yeah, Stormfront. All right, yeah, no, it's nothing. You ain't going to think that. So he is 100% right, and he put us up on game.
Be armed. Stay alive.
Stay alive. Appreciate the words. And the heads up. Jap look like he going crazy over there. Let's get back.
Hope for this young man that he can get out in a year. They raising money, so we need to raise money too.
They don't care that the black kid, I mean, I think that some of them do care, but I think that they're avoiding the point that the black kid actually took the life of somebody unnecessarily. Let me give you a couple factors here, which would bolster the legal argument that I have. I do believe that Karmelo Anthony will be found guilty if he goes to court. I think he's going to do a plea deal.
I said that too. Tatum is wrong on this tape. The whites went crazy on Twitter when they found out about this modern day lynching on Twitter. Yeah, I told y'all want to see what's really going on, get off of Facebook, because Meta restricts everything. All of the real conversations are on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of the good conversations are on Twitter, man. You know? But it's certain people that are making this a race thing. Now it has become a race thing. Now we have to fight it from a race position. But again, he does commentary on a lot of fuck shit that goes on in our community. I do the same as well. But you can actually look at the character of the people that we critiquing and they're doing crimes. And, you know, it's justified to highlight this and show y'all what we don't need to be doing. But this young man had everything going for him. We can at least give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not gonna fuck up the defense. Y'all acting like this money is to go get Lamborghinis or something like that. No, this money is for a lawyer. Officer Tate-size niggas. We don't know what was said. We only know what was in that report.
Because he know he's dead to rights. His attorneys know he's dead to rights. According to Texas State Penal Code, he will go to jail and be sentenced probably more harshly than he would if he do a plea deal. I think he's going to.
Yeah, I think he needs to do a plea deal too. And that's where the money comes in. We need him.
They're going to plead for 10, man. Because they can't give him no more than 20. Right? That when a manslaughter, it's between 2 years and 20 years. They probably going to plead. They probably going to try to give him a deal of 10 years. 5 years probation or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If they can squeeze 5 years, he need to take the 5 years. If they say, all right, 5 years probation. But remember what they were doing to Meek Mills? They had Meek Mills on for fucking 11 years probation. They might say, all right, 5 years, and we'll give you 10 years probation. You fuck up probation, you're going to finish out the rest of your 20, which would be an additional 15. So, it could go any kind of fucking way, man. I've been at work and niggas come back who blew trial, bro. Nigga come in, he normally cracking jokes and doing silly shit on the phone, making soups. This nigga come back from court and he go right to a cell. Yo, CO, crack 17. And they don't say shit. Them the ones you gotta watch. Nigga just blew trial. 20 years, 30 years, life. They don't say nothing. Yeah, they in there dealing with the shit, but you gotta watch them, bro. Cause those be the niggas that go and hang themselves. The nigga that's yelling down the tier, 15 cell on a hang up. That nigga ain't hanging himself. If you hanging yourself, why would you? If you want to kill yourself, why would you tell me? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Them the ones you gotta watch. The ones who come in and they quiet.
About that. But we can't throw the young nigga under the bus. Trey Vision say Tatum is a tether and a coon. At least Jap ain't completely on the coon train.
Oh, he said you a little.
What's the coon train?
You a little bit on the coon train.
These niggas are crazy. And you don't even show your face. Come on, man.
Intentionally or knowingly causing the death of another person. That's subsection 1. Subsection 2 is intending to cause serious bodily injury and commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that results in somebody's death. They got him on the first statute because he knowingly and intentionally decided to poke the boy in the heart with a knife. The second statutory claim here, which they can get him on as well, is intending to cause serious bodily injury. If you didn't intend to kill the guy, but you should know that stabbing somebody in the heart could cause serious damage, serious bodily injury to that person.
Bro, here's the thing, bro. The boy didn't look and say, I'm gonna stab him in the heart, bro. He just fucking just lunged the shit, bro. Just lunged the shit. He wasn't trying to stab the motherfucking, he ain't aim for his fucking heart. You getting jumped, man, you just, and you getting the fuck up out of there. This guy's fucking, I hate when they say that shit.
Not no wrinkle suit lawyers, some real good lawyers.
Carrying a weapon on a school campus is a felony offense. No, it's a misdemeanor offense.
It wasn't
Let's
a
go
school
down to
camp.
the law.
Wasn't a
So I
school
want y'all to
camp.
see this very clearly.
So you can't carry a weapon on school grounds.
If you go down to the to Texas law, it says that it's a knife blade exception, right? If it's 55 inches or shorter, generally speaking, it could be used or be on a public
Not
in a public
55
place.
inches,
However,
nigga.
there is
5.5.
restrictions as to where this can be presented. It says right here. Let me go up a little bit. I'll go down here. It says violating these restrictions can lead to criminal.
Where's Al Sharpton?
Now you going around the Alton?
Where's Jasmine Crockett, Al Sharpton? Where are all of these people? Let this have been a black woman. I promise you. Let this have been a black woman. Where are the Democrats? It's right up your alley. You got a racial tension scenario already cooking. Where y'all at?
Man, you know Jasmine Crockett want that motherfucker locked up. She probably don't
He
like
got some heavy charges, not HR charges. He's got to beat charges. One of those charges will stick, unfortunately. I'm hoping he can plead to something really light. Wasn't school grounds, it was a community center. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. But man, this trial is gonna be, and it's gonna be televised.
Oh, they're gonna televise.
And it's gonna be televised. Domain Sensei say, Lord Bison put me on to your channel. Great topic. Appreciate you, family.
Lord Bison.
But then we got niggas who just starting drama for the sake of starting drama, saying shit for the sake of saying shit. None other than your own Charleston White. We can always depend on Charleston White.
Yeah, he
throw your black ass under the bus when it counts.
Bless black people, because black people got a heart of retribution and vengeance and violence and anger. They want to get back at white people. No wonder Dr. Kingdom could get some things and we can't. Because Dr. Kingdom said, hey man, don't hit them back. Hey man, don't hit them back. And them people got way more. Now this group say, let's kill them. Let's kill them. But your kids,
he don't believe the shit that he be saying though. He know he don't. So don't never take him serious.
My kids every day in the hood schools getting bullied, but y'all don't have this much outrage for bullying. They have a no bullying month, but y'all don't have this much out. But now all of a sudden it's out, let's kill the bully. Most of y'all are bullies. Talk to them today. Most of y'all are, come on, cuz, OG, bullies. Come on, Crip Blood bullies. But now we want to kill the bully. When most of black children go to school every day and have to face a bully, why you think they got to wear Michael Jordan tennis shoes? But now we got a problem with bullies, huh? When have we ever told our kids to go kill the bully? We taught our kids how to stand up to the bully. No matter.
Bro, he didn't fucking mean to kill him.
If it was two of them, fight both of them.
What is the safest place for the black straight man in America?
In America.
Safest city?
Your house.
There is none. I don't want you to think you can run from this. Everybody's your enemy. You have no allies. Nobody has your back. Your head will be on a swivel no matter where you go. You can't run, you can't hide. You got to face this shit. The world is against you everywhere you go. It's only a matter of time before you're tested. Sorry.
But you don't put your life in.
Y'all, you want me to give you a city, you want me to say, go to Nashville. And they be like, hey, they fucking niggas up in Nashville. Yeah, there's nice places in Nashville. I love Nashville. I'm considering moving to Nashville. But I'm not going to go to Nashville and think that I'm not black. And it ain't gonna be it ain't gonna be tested. Hell no.
Danger to kill unless you got killing in you. But if you listen to kill music, you got killing in you. There's no way good kids kill. I know.
Now, this is why I say that this is bullshit with Charleston White. Charleston White is the main proponent of carrying guns, mace, and knives, brass knuckles, and tasers.
Mm-hmm.
He is a weapons guy. He is all about this. And in the state of Texas, 17, you're an adult. How many times do we see Charleston White online pepper spraying somebody pulling out a gun? So for you to be the one talking about this shit, you crazy. This is bullshit. That's why I say you can't believe this joker. He's saying anything to get on World Star. And you can't do that with this young man's life on the line.
One nigga stabbed the girl 93 times, but before he got to 93, he dropped the knife. She begged and she pleaded.
I put the link in the description for y'all if y'all want to chime in. Say, I moved to Seattle from Chicago. What is TBH? I forgot.
Oh, he dropped the
It's the same shit, but in different capacities. We cannot escape the indoctrination of others or being black. Shout out to Jim Rue. Much love.
Where is it?
He dropped the knife, but because he was abused and he had anger and he had rage inside of him for what his daddy was doing.
Oh, to be honest, that's what that means? Okay. I was about to say, that bitch hoeing. That bitch hoeing! Get my motherfucking C4. What more sweet?
Stupid.
Woo!
That was him.
Too sweet, shorty. Let's go.
To him, he finished up. What's in you gonna come out of you. And good kids don't stab people to death, y'all. This is a kid with some trauma. Let's get the background story first.
This is the same man as a kid. Charleston White. See, this is some bullshit with Charleston White. Because it just came out that Charleston White snitched on his friends as a kid. As a 15, 16-year-old boy, him and his friends went to rob somebody and ended up killing a man. And he passed his homie the gun. His mama got him the best. These are the words of Charleston White. His mama got him the best lawyer in town. He told on his homeboy and got his freedom. He wanted everybody to extend him grace and give him a second chance at life. But we gonna demonize this young man who lived a better life than your little crazy ass out here robbing folks. Not on the defense, but robbing folks. You see how it goes back to what I always say, we gotta bring back the dignity, we gotta bring back integrity. Get the fuck out of here, Charleston White.
Yo, what up?
And you brag about it. Yeah, I murdered a white man.
Yo, what's good, bro? What's good? Yeah. What I wanted to talk to you about, right? There was a case. I was looking to see if there was any similar cases to the same joint to old boy, and I found one. There was a case, and on yeah. Hold on, I got you. Yeah, I got you right here. Hold on. Mic check. How about that?
Oh man.
Yeah. So I actually found a case, bro. That it was a lawyer, Varghese Somerset. So what happened was it was a man in Fort Worth, Texas. So it's the same state. right? Same laws and all of that. There was a like a gathering, uh, and it was his friend. His homeboy got drunk, and he was like going to hit. He was going to hit his wife, right? So dude pushed his wife out of the way and stabbed his friend one time. The dude died, right? So that happened in 2023. He was just acquitted 2025, February 3rd. Um, and I got it pulled up right here. She was able. Yes. Yeah, yeah. And the only difference that's like a major difference is the person that died, because the guy died. He wasn't white. You know what I'm saying? And the dude that did the stabbing, he was Spanish. Um, the dude didn't put his hands on him, but the guy did have a knife in his pocket, but the knife was in his pocket, right? So he was drunk and he was going to physically touch, the dude's wife because he was upset. So homeboy pushed the wife out the way. He pulled his knife out and he stabbed him. Now in that situation, there was no two assailants. In Anthony and Carmelo Anthony's situation, it was two assailants. He was outweighed by 100 pounds by both of them. Um, and in the case where the dude got off, it was just one dude, and they was both around the same size. And he still, nah, he was acquitted. Everything was dropped. Yeah. I was like, damn, man, I don't got your email or nothing like that. I was going to send you the article, and I got her. She actually she had her law firm has a YouTube page, and they actually were talking about the Metcalf and Anthony case. And yeah, got you. I got. I All right, so we just had to put that out for him. Ministerjab@gmail. All right.
Yeah, if you're trying to connect with me, man, it's easy, man. I'm all in the description of every video, bro. All in the description of every video, man. But for Charleston White to be sitting here acting like he ain't about weapons and all this shit, and you did the same thing. Charleston White got off for the same thing, and ain't nobody block his money, block the lawyers or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You went and told on your friends, and you got off scot-free for a murder when you were his age. So we don't want to hear that shit. You talk all this shit about upbringing and all this shit. No, we gotta talk about your mama, nigga. You the product of your mama, crazy nigga.
Just because he out there in Frisco. Oh, black people, y'all wrong, and no wonder God got you cursed. I'm starting to think that curse on us is real, that the Hebrews say. This group hearts is hateful, no compassion.
Again, man, when you really look at it from what I just broke down to you, just look up Charleston White. The snitch allegations. They just dropped.
Yo, that shit is real. The snitch shit, but the shit about the curse, I actually heard about it. I heard about it, and I was inclined to believe it because when I look back, bro, you can look back in the history books. You can ask a white person, ask an old ass white person, ask an old ass black person. Yo, when in history did black people do anything, pillage and plunder, take over, murder any other nation for that people to hate us. Asians hate us. Whites hate us. Everybody hates us, bro. Arabs. And these motherfuckers had us enslaved. How the fuck you hate it, nigga? You enslaved. But I heard that, what I heard was that there was a people who was in charge. You know, they were kings and this and that, and they were treating people cruel. And God said, yo, I'm gonna have these people put you in bondage. But he said in bondage, I forgot the exact years, but he said it was close to 400 something years. But he said a definitive amount of years. And you put it together. You know, so, you know, I mean, damn, because, yo, bro, we ain't do nothing to nobody, bro. We ain't do nothing to nobody. And then when I look around today, I see what the hell's going on. I see how black women are selling us out, how they hate us, black men hating on other black men. You know, there was a nigga that came up here earlier and said some stupid fuck shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, what the fuck is it? Are we cursed, bro? Maybe we cursed like the Knicks, nigga. I don't know, man.
These niggas ain't gonna have my back. He's sitting over here acting a fool again. When we talking about family business,
I got some Charleston White shit for you.
some conversations ain't to be had with the white community because they not here to understand it. They here to be entertained by it. Our life is their entertainment. But then you got niggas like this that'll do and say anything for views and money.
Do you see the boy in Frisco stabbed to death by Karmelo Anthony?
Yeah. My heart goes out to the family. They trying to make this a race issue, and this is a right or wrong issue.
Okay. So no, real quick, I like where you're going on this because I'm not even trying to race bait or anything. People are making this about.
Now, he was just in the video before making it a race issue, but now you got to stay on the same page, man.
Black and white. You see that they're trying to make this kind of like a Trayvon Martin kind of, you know, they're talking about it. But where do you?
It is. Trayvon Martin was an angry black kid that had to be sent to his father because he lacked discipline, grew up in a home with his single mother. Any well-behaved kid with manners that had respect of adults, once George Zimmerman approached him,
You talk about all this shit about that, but when you was a kid, you was out here murdering folks. I ain't trying to hear that. Not from you. But again, this is good. This is a good conversation to have at the cookout, but you don't have it. You don't have it at the banquet. See, the white folks got the banquet. We got the cookout. We don't bring family business to the banquet.
right or wrong, as a child, this is an adult. You get off the phone with that fat ass girlfriend you trying to fuck. You call your dad and say, hey, Dad, it's an adult around here that just stopped me. He says he's calling the police. Rather than doing that, he had an attitude because as young black males in this country, we have an authority problem because we walking around angry, displaced from our father's issues. But
this is a conversation that we have at the cookout. I'm not saying that he's wrong with what he's saying, but I certainly would not be having it on their platforms. They don't deserve to be hearing this type of conversation because this is family business.
And they're going.
That's what I have to.
That's
my stance on this shit.
Kid.
Yes, I'm logical. Yes, I'm controversial, but I know who to have these conversations with to where it's appropriate or to when you look like you selling us out. That ain't the person I need to be having it with. He's not here to understand. He ain't my people. That's not family. You know what I'm saying? It's not. This is FBA business. That's cookout conversation. He don't need to be hearing this. I'm not about to sit down and have cookout conversation with Vlad. That's a cookout conversation, man. Man, who the fuck are you?
He said cookout
We resent our mothers.
That's
So
true.
we're a ticking time bomb. And Trayvon Martin could fight. So that's why I say you be careful approaching some of these young kids. What a 13-year-old will kick a 40-year-old's ass.
That's true.
And that's what happened in that situation. He underestimated this kid, and he was looking for trouble. But by law, he was right. And he was judged by his peers. So we can't say nothing once you're judged by your peers.
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this Austin Metcalf thing? You think he's gonna be able to
Metcalf had...
See, here's the thing. That Zimmerman case, Zimmerman was judged by his peers. Now, I want y'all to think about Carmelo Anthony's case. Will those jurors be his peers? Think about your peers. Unless you bring other high schoolers in there, he's not going to ever be judged by his peers. He does not need to go to court. That's what scares me about the whole case. He can't be judged by peers because they're not going to present any.
He ain't lying. This was his shit. I want to show you this nigga.
Let's go meet America's most racist man.
And y'all heard Kanye say white lives matter. White people lives matter too, especially white school teachers. Yeah.
Hey, let's get it, y'all. Yo, Pooty Feet Charleston.
Make America great again.
I'm selling dope again. I'm selling dope again. Selling dope again. I'm selling dope again. I'm selling dope again. I'm selling dope again. I need a new.
Y'all, we in Harrison, Arkansas right now, and I'm supposed to meet Charleston White, but I don't know where he at. Let's go find him. Has anybody seen Charleston White? Yeah, best bar.
You probably would not. You don't want no girl out here.
Why not?
I'm very concerned about black women. Very concerned.
You like Charleston White?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be meeting him.
Everything he always speaks
He crazy, right?
Very.
When I moved here, they had a Klan meeting down
Really?
in 2012, I think it was the last time.
Well, when you got the KKK up in the hills, you got racism, big time.
Do you think this is a sundown town?
Yep. There is actually a liquor store called Sundowners.
Where at? In Harrison?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I'm going there next.
Yeah. We out here in Harrison County, Texas.
Arkansas.
Harrison.
We
Arkansas.
Y'all are still in Texas.
I'm sorry.
That's what he said. He said Texas.
I sure did. You sure right, ma'am. I said Texas.
What's your favorite liquor? So I could buy you sundown. What are you talking about? I was thinking about you when I really put this hoodie on. Bro, I'm trying to buy something for my friend. You know Tom Bowie? He always smokes something. I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
So what's the significance of your Confederacy?
It's heritage, not hate. A lot of black people part of the Confederate Army as well.
If you could be any race other than black, what race would you be?
White. They the superior race on earth.
So why you feel like white people are?
Show me a black man's army. Show me a black man's navy. Show me a black man's marines. Show me a black man's Navy SEAL. Show me a black man, a Mexican man, an Italian man that done conquered the world like the white man.
But why is that the basis of what is superior and what's not superior?
Whoever conquers who, that's who's superior. The inferior people are conquered, not the superior.
What's your stance on like racism?
I think racism is normal. Every race is a racist. Yeah, nothing wrong with racism. Red birds and blue birds don't fly together. Lizards and alligators don't eat together.
Yo, I hate this nigga, and Dennis is like, yo, he says shit that makes me laugh. But I hate him too. This nigga said red birds and blue birds don't fly together.
I seen online, you was saying your kids have good hair.
Yeah, black and Mexican.
I think I have some clean dreads. You think this shit cool or not?
That's not good hair.
We in the most racist town right now. How do you feel being here? Like, do you feel like a racist energy, or do you feel like, oh shit, I'm at home for it?
It feels like a normal place in America. Yeah, it feels like anywhere else in America. Yeah, where they got white people. Look like everybody know their place around here. Everybody mind their business.
Do you feel more at home here, or like inside of Nigeria?
Nigerians are ugly. I ain't never seen a handsome Nigerian or a pretty Nigerian woman.
This is Thames. She one of the most famous singers right now.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah.
Damn.
I like light-skinned girls, really. Her forehead too big.
Yeah. Yo, if you a black man, what's wrong with the camera? This shit froze. All right. Yo, if you a black man, fuck Thames, yo. Look at her most recent video.
big. Yeah, give me a Kardashian. Fuck a Nigerian, nigga.
This nigga said, give me a Kardashian. Fuck a Nigerian. Yo, the stupid nigga.
Getting girls really. Her forehead too big. Yeah, give me a Kardashian. Fuck a Nigerian, nigga.
This is Arya Starr. She a famous Nigerian artist.
Yeah. She might can get it.
Would you ever move there?
I wouldn't even visit Africa. They don't have no Chick-fil-A's out there.
Smash or pass? First one we got Sexy Red.
Pass. She just had an
Said they don't got no Chick-fil-A's out
STD
there.
according to her baby daddy.
You never caught one?
Oh, I ain't had now recently.
It's incredible.
You want me to look at a cartoon character and say, I'll fuck a cartoon?
Orange.
You like the KKK?
Oh, yeah. They just like the Crips and the Bloods.
Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a minute.
Tiger, finish him. Come here.
Did this nigga say he liked the KKK? Yeah, this nigga here, he is the original Uncle Ruckus, bro. He's the real life Uncle Ruckus, bro. How can a black man say they like the KKK? Well, I mean, I guess the same way a black woman could say she liked the KKK and racist boyfriends. I guess so.
You like the KKK?
Oh, yeah. They just like the Crips and the Bloods.
Okay.
And the PDs and the GDs.
This guy that we about to speak to, he's like trying to keep it a thing.
He's just a normal man.
But you overall, you like the KKK?
Truth and honestly, I don't know they exist. To like them or not like them, as black people.
What do you mean?
They've never existed to us. We've never seen the KKK.
But they was people.
When? Not in my lifetime. We've never heard the KKK burn nothing, no buildings, no churches, no nothing. And I was born in 77.
Just because it wasn't there or it happened before you was...
I was born in 77. Do I look as old as that nigga? That's who looks older. I think that nigga look older. That's crazy.
Born doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
It's just like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs once walked the earth, but we've never seen a dinosaur. They say they the KKK, but nigga, they don't exist to us.
We literally about to go talk to him right now.
They just like the old trunk in front of the store. They don't exist in front of the store. They don't exist nowhere else. So if you didn't come here, nigga, they don't exist.
Because it's not legal to just people no more.
The Ku Klux Klan ain't black people since the 30s and the 20s. The Ku Klux Klan...
He fucking stupid. This nigga dumb.
They wasn't niggas in the 60s. They wasn't niggas in the 50s. The Ku Klux Klan was defeated almost in the 1900s. So for them, the presidents don't mean nothing.
So like they technically like false claiming for us.
When the last time you seen a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout? That's what I'm talking about. The Ku Klux Klan only exists to themselves. They don't exist to black America.
Okay, how would you feel if the vice leader of the KKK moved next door to you?
I would love it. What's the difference between him and a Delta sorority? Kappa sorority, there's no difference.
But the purpose behind it?
But the purpose behind the Ku Klux Klan is what?
Separation was their purpose.
They did that 100 years ago. They hadn't done that in almost 60 to 70 years. What's wrong with wanting to separate? Black Lives Matter separated. And Black Lives Matter was violent. Black Lives Matter wasn't accepting of everybody. They didn't accept black police officers. Black Lives Matter. I seen them violently tearing up shit like the Ku Klux Klan did.
If you was there back then when they was doing the burning, there's no amount of money that they could make you go and join them.
Yeah, it is. Hell yeah, I join for the right amount of money.
Would you get I hate black?
Yo, how is this nigga still alive, bro? How?
Go and join them.
Yeah, it is. Hell yeah, I join for the right amount of money.
Would you get I hate blacks tattooed on your arm for $1 million?
Of course. I would do it for $100,000.
All right, y'all, approaching right now. I kind of wanted to blend in a little bit more. I thought I was blending it with this, but I'm gonna be honest, I look like a YN who just loves white women. I'm about to change it to something a little bit more zinc appropriate. Like a real ass nigga, right? We got the biggest Trump jersey you ever seen, and we got the realest nigga you ever seen inside this bitch. It's Young Pooty Pig. This is the train tracks right here.
The railroad track have always divided factions to some white.
Nigga got fire trucks now? Wait, hold up. This nigga done got an upgrade. Before we continue with this video, y'all, this video is sponsored by Prize Picks. If y'all love to make daily sports picks like me, make sure y'all download the Prize Picks app. Right now, I got a 100% deposit bonus code for y'all up to $100. It's literally easy. Just get your phone out, type in promo code Pooty, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. So if you put in $100, now you have...
This grown man calls himself Pooty.
200, or if you put in 20, then you have 40. Instead of doing entries on teams, you do it on an individual player. So the team could lose, but you could still win money on that player. Take advantage of my promo code, use code Pootie, and make sure you download the Prize Pick app. Now let's get back on the rest of the video. It's Young Pootie P. My good friend, how are you? Damn, the rain finally stopped soon as I'm here. This is like a movie. It's been a while.
You might want to give me a little space. I have the flu.
You got the flu. Tom, this is Charleston. Charleston, this is Tom.
What's up, Tom? How's it going, brother?
I guess all right.
I wanted to bring him here because though y'all different, I feel like y'all might have some similar perspectives, some similar point of views. You good and healthy?
The fuck?
What the fuck? You're associated with the KKK.
You would be surprised at the things I'm associated with.
Charleston damn near would join this shit if he could for it. Looking for like
I don't have
land.
a problem with the KKK. I don't have a problem with nobody fighting for what they believe in.
What if it's Black Lives Matter?
It's headed by 3 lesbian bitches. So yeah, I'm not joining nothing with 3 gays, especially stood bitches.
Pretty much, they're mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
So I heard they took the money and the leader had bought a house.
A predominantly white
community.
The well-to-do community.
So did Obama, so. And you'll never see Trump move into the hood. If he wants to move somewhere, it's in a Jewish hood where he has a banker next door.
Okay.
All black people with good sense move to white neighborhoods.
He actually ran for president.
2016.
2016. Is that something you would ever do, Charleston?
I like to buy pussy.
What? Bro!
that don't preclude anymore.
So wait, when did you like to buy pussy?
All men like to buy pussy. I like hoes.
Okay.
Hoes that sell pussy.
All right.
Exclude the dates. Bypass the dates. Exchange money for sex.
Have you ever?
All right, let's get back. Let's get back to my man Jap. He over there going crazy.
Bully supervisor, a bully co-worker. You cannot get rid of the bully. Teach our children conflict resolution. Everything don't have to end in violence. But when you come from the black culture, everything is disputed in violence.
Yeah. That is the problem, though. That's how you.
It's the culture.
That's the culture. That's how they solve. When you have a serious issue, they don't even contemplate trying to talk it out.
We see right there. That's him being comfortable in our culture. Nigga, this is a set. The way I view him speaking on this is like, shut up when grown folks are talking.
Charleston gave him the.
You don't get.
Charleston just gave him the okay to say that shit.
And all these other coaches with.
They, like you ain't sitting next to the fucking they. He is they. He killed a white dude when he was 14 or 16 or some shit.
I came up with anti-negrotism, anti-negromatic to combat the fact that we cannot critique them, but they can critique all of our shit and be all up in our conversations.
Teaching no snitching rule, right? So our kids are walking around with these mafia rules, codes, and ethics of the streets that's held over children about no snitching. So now I have to take a weapon because I don't want to be a snitch and kill another kid. Oh, it's a simple solution. Don't tell the teacher. Tell your parents.
Yeah.
It's a simple solution.
I know, but
tell, motherfucker, tell.
But what sounds crazy, I know it sounds so easy, but the thing is, even for the criminal, the guy that would commit an assault, if you stop him before he does the assault, then they don't have to go to jail as long. You know what I mean?
Man, this is not that kid's first time grabbing a weapon, because most kids who grab a weapon from the first time don't kill people.
Yeah, of course. You bring a gun a couple times before you shoot it.
And if I was being bullied and I'm in self-defense, even though he have an undeveloped brain and he's impulsive, why run?
You're not gonna sit there because the motherfucker's gonna be on the attack and he might have to poke another motherfucker. See,
you gonna stick around and stab 2-3 more motherfuckers? Or get stabbed yourself, they take it from you?
reputable black motherfuckers. You wanna go straight, you know what I'm saying, to the mayonnaise niggas and put them all in our business. No. Okay, we got up air and sea. He said he gonna stand on business. This is gonna be interesting. What's happening, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm ready to stand on business.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So anyway, yeah. Questions, comments, concerns. What's up, man?
Now you stated that our culture is trash. So elaborate.
Sure. So when it comes to like this whole acting like it's some sacred, you know, like, oh, you know, bring white folks to the cookout, you know, like it's some kind of sacred shit. I mean, it's just retarded. You know, if I go in the hood with a cookout and bless whoever with my presence, it's not some secret, great high-end culture that needs to be guarded. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so why do y'all want to be a part of our discussions and be in our conversations and be a part of our culture? Because I mean, for the most part, you sing along to all of our songs, you dress like us, you mimic all of our behavior, and then as soon as it gets real, you turn into the white man that you always were meant to be.
So what do you mean as far as, I mean, American culture as a whole? I mean, you can't really dig out a portion and say, for example, I do wear like fitted.
Black culture seems to be the ones that y'all are most interested in and most intrigued by, because you don't act like Latinos. You don't try to act like Latinos. You don't cosplay their culture. You don't try to be Arabs. But there is a lot of white people, termed wigger, that try to act like us and want to be in our discussions and tell us about what we need to do, as if you all didn't invent a lot of the bullshit that we are still participating in.
Well, this whole beautiful American system was, of course, created by my people. So yeah, but you want to know why?
On the backs of black folks, though.
Sir, see, that's that typical Tariq Nasheed fucking bullshit. Okay, sure. Did blacks contribute? I'm not saying that they didn't. I don't say that FBAs need to go back to.
Unwillingly, though.
I got you. Listen.
Unwillingly, though.
Jap, listen. Fucking retards like Tariq Nasheed. He literally will like front like white people didn't do a goddamn thing. He's even trying to say that the Constitution was like drafted from like black people. Just utter retarded fucking bullshit. And anyone that believes that is just a low IQ fucking monkey. Okay, that's all there is to it.
This is a white country. Y'all drafted the blueprints of it and everything like that. But the free, cheap labor in the blood, sweat, and the savagery, you know what I'm saying, that comes behind the word nigga and comes behind our lineage.
Jap, there's not.
You are the descendants of that.
Jap, you know damn well your entire living here in this country and living here, whatever. You know damn well that no white person has ever come up to you and be like, "Oh, you guys didn't do shit. You're not a part of this country." In every single grade.
No, we don't have these conversations with today's white folks, because today's white folks don't give a shit about history, and that's fine. I'm cool with it.
What do you mean we don't care about history?
No,
I'm an expert in like World War II history.
About Black history. Okay, when the last time you celebrated Black History Month?
What do you mean? We're all like forced to celebrate Black history. It's compulsory. It's compulsory to celebrate y'all shit.
The last time you celebrated Black History Month with sincerity.
Well, me, I don't really give a fuck about Black History Month.
Exactly. So when I'm talking to black folks about black folks' business, here come y'all.
Oh, I can answer that. That's easy. So Jap, I was originally subbed to your channel because, you know, a lot of times you're funny as shit. You have to understand, sir, that you yourself, this sacred culture that you hold to such a high regard, you, sir, shit on it all the time. And you talk about black females. Yeah, right. So right. So you talk about
this is my family. You can't.
Right. See, okay, that's really funny. So I can't talk about the black folks, but for some reason you guys can talk shit about white people all day long as if you know us. Well, it's my family. Don't talk about white people because that's my family, Jap. That doesn't fucking register to you, does it?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Because we are the victims. We wear the last name.
Of course you're a victim, right?
We wear the last names of what your ancestors did to our people.
No one's discounting that.
If we're having a conversation and we're talking about what you all have done in the construct of us having to live in y'all world, this is black folk conversation.
So are white people allowed?
You're not going to act like I'll be real. In this day and time, racism is not the really big issue. The biggest issue is feminism. But when it comes down to it, if it's a hierarchy, the black man is at the bottom of the totem pole. You're like right above us because you put your woman ahead of y'all, and your women are oppressing y'all. Now, at the end of the day, feminism is fucking up everything. And we're in that same fight together. But
I
don't
can give you.
don't
I
get
can
it
give you.
twisted. You still can turn on your white switch at any given time and still get a one-up on the black man.
Again, there's more laws that have I'm 10 times more likely to be charged with a hate crime if you and I get into it than vice versa. There's plenty of protections that blacks have. They're a protected group. If I say the N-word here and you guys know where I work, guess what? I'm fired immediately. You can say whatever anti-white shit you want. You're good.
We say the J word, we're fired.
Well, I'm not a J, so that doesn't apply to me. But what I'm saying, though, I can't talk about J's. And you know what? Here's the thing. I want to answer your question, though, because I get this a lot. A lot of black dudes, they say, why you up in our spaces? Why you up in our shit? I'll tell you why, right?
No. This is just like when kids are in the room when grown folks are talking. You can listen, you can observe. But for you to chime in like your voice is law in the cookout, no.
Oh, I don't expect y'all to give a fuck. I just dropped one word. You know, the culture's trash. So the fuck what? I meant 100% of it. I just,
In your culture is not.
The culture and history of the European American, sir, you're saying it's that bad. It's that bad, you think so? You really mean that?
Are you serious? Because
really, I mean,
from homosexuality, transvestites.
See, you're on that retarded like Tariq Nasheed shit.
Are you serious?
Sir, you're taking like Tariq Nasheed retardisms as like gospel. We invented homosexuality, really? Like every fucking.
You're the author of the bullshit. We out of here. Listen, you're the author. They're the authors of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta kick you. We gotta get back to the show, man. Appreciate him standing on business. A lot of niggas be talking shit, you know what I'm saying, in the chat and don't have the courage to come through. But yes, they are the authors of confusion, the authors of savagery and all of that. Yes. But I'm not gonna let them just say we got a trash culture. Hell, we got a trash culture, but they got a trash culture as well. Nigga, please. They don't even know what a woman is. Let's get back to this, man. More traitors and tethers of the cookout. Let's go.
And the people out here trying to defend Carmelo Anthony's depression.
I will say this, like I respect him for coming through, showing his face, standing on business, and not being a coward. I give him his props, salute to him. I'm probably gonna end up seeing him in one of the spaces, man. We're gonna chop it up again. But be a lot of niggas that don't be standing on business. Be a lot of niggas don't be standing on business, man. But let's get back to Jason Whitlock. He's throwing motherfuckers under the bus for the cookout.
Grave murder of Austin Metcalf. Those people, they want racial conflict here in America. They want to trigger those of us that are patriots, those of us that are...
That didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Fuck. You guys probably couldn't see it. I'm typing in the chat, yo, listen, man, this motherfucker, white people commit 69% of the crimes in America. Like, when we go at these motherfuckers with stats, listen, man, if we commit 27% as blacks, right, in America, and y'all commit 69% of the crime, of all crimes, I don't understand why y'all always, you know what I'm saying, talking about black people. Y'all commit twice as much as us. More than twice. The rapes is at like 70% white. Like, that's what I need to talk to. I need to talk to one of them fucking people, man. That's what I need to talk to. I need to have a debate with with a fucking white racist.
He's not, first of all, he's not gonna get off scot-free. And I don't think he's gonna get a slap on the wrist, but I just don't want that slap to be something that sits him down for 15 years. He's gotta have defense money if the Metcalf family then raised up a $250,000. We gotta stand with him at least. Give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? But here comes a nigga. These are the type of niggas, man, that's gonna fuck it up for him.
With the black community, they've raised over $200,000 just to...
Now that right there, this nigga look Nigerian. This look like a tether.
I'm so disgusted with the black community. They've raised over $200,000 Just think about this. A kid has been killed, right? Wow.
Now, if you go to this guy's TikTok, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Or have raised over $200,000 for a criminal because they're so full of hatred for white people.
So just tell me, what are we supposed to do with your moist ass? Not back this man and just feed him to the white man, feed him to the wolves. He's a 17-year-old boy. We just supposed to feed him to the wolves
Trying
because
to
your lisp having ass
trying to log
don't
back
want him to
in.
have defense.
That they would rather
This is a tether. This is definitely a tether.
a person that this mom who has to mourn for her child, they raised over $200,000, but they won't raise any money for little kids killed in Chicago and places by gang members.
Yes, they do. They do it all the time. That's why I tell you all the time. How many times do we see black folks raise money for the worst of us